Ladies and gentlemen, the goose is loose. How are we all doing this evening? Good to see a few familiar faces in chat already. Good to have you guys on board. Karma, thank you very much for showing up. Dragon, it's good you're here because we are going to split the stream. So we're going to do a couple of hours of Starsector, and then because you were due, at your request, some Death Road to Canada on Friday, which we didn't get to unfortunately, we will be doing a little bit of Death Road to Canada at the end of the stream. We'll see what kind of chaos that game is. I fired it up literally just to make sure that it is set up in Streamlabs and walked through 2 rooms, and it overwhelmed me already, so it will be mad to watch the first early playthrough of that. And I think we will probably play some more of that on Friday's Anything Goes stream. That will be our first game up. But before that, we're going to play a few hours of Starsector, so I need to work out where we were at. So I'm going to load a game because that was a new game. We are going to load a game. Go back to our Captain Bo Goose McCroy. And yet again we'll work out where we are and what on earth we were doing. No, I'm exactly the same, Karma. It has been a very long week since we did any Starsector. So we're going to take it slowly. We're going to ease ourselves in. Work out where we were, what we were up to, pick some exciting things to do, see where the fleet's at. And that's probably not a bad place to start. So we're still piloting the Manticore, and we've got the Hammerhead and an array of other ships, including quite a few hounds now. We picked ourselves up a pirate Cerberus. Oh yeah, of course, we picked up the Buffalo Mark II comedy fit. Oh god, that's exactly where we are. We are about to do an intercept mission as part of the Syndrian storyline. That's exactly what we're about to do. Yes, we were helping out. Here we are. So we were helping out Marcario of the Syndrian Dictat, and he has told us to intercept his agent. We have to intercept and capture his agent at the fringe jump point of Asconia. And that's what we had just undocked to do. So let's just have a look. We've fitted out, we're okay. We've got some fuel, not that we should hopefully need it, but we've definitely got supplies, which is good. And we've got our fleet ready to go. So that's what we're going to dive into. So the game is saved. We're going to go and intercept this fleet, and that's good because, as we found out last Monday on the stream, diving straight into a combat encounter is not always the wisest thing when you haven't blown the cobwebs off. In fact, it's probably worth just jumping into the Manticore. So we'd fitted the infrared targeting unit to up the range of our weapons. Yeah, so it was. I think he is being chased. There's definitely time pressure. We need to get there quickly, which is why I was sort of poised. But no, I had the impression it was something we needed to do very, very quickly. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to get some audio back on the game because we don't currently have any. I think maybe we rock about 20%. Let me know if the audio is too loud or too quiet. But now we've got just a little bit of tension audio from within the game. And yeah, we've got to get there very quickly. So the fringe jump point is out here. So that's what we're going to plot our course. Sound effects and audio were turned off because otherwise you get them in the background of the stream. Unlike something like RimWorld, Starsector still plays the music when it's minimised. So if I leave it on, you can hear it through the music that plays at the start of the stream to get the ads out of the way. And it all becomes a little bit messy and confusing. So I always crank it down with Starsector before we start, but I don't always remember to turn it back up again. But I do love the Starsector music. I've got my headphones turned relatively far down, so you guys will just have to let me know what the audio balance is like. I can always crank up the game volume a bit if needed. So yeah, we're heading out to the fringe jump point. we are going to intercept and either assist or capture Macario's agents. So I think we were originally meant to assist them. It just seems to come through really loud. When I set it to like 100%, we might have had it as high as 35 before. I ran it at 50% one stream. I think it's just because of the balance I've got in Streamlabs. For some of the other games, they need a bit of boosting. So if you run 75% audio in RimWorld, at the audio settings I've got in Streamlabs, if you do 75% Starsector, you can't hear me over it. Yeah, I keep the system volume relatively up and turn the games down because I find that certain movie channels on my system run very, very quiet. So if I'm trying to watch something on like Disney or something, I can't hear movies without headphones unless I have the system volume quite high. So it's the way I've got it balanced, mainly because of the speakers in my monitor, I think. So we're going to intercept. We may be able to assist them if they're being chased, or capture them depending on what's going on. That's what we're going to do first. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick simulation flight with the Manticore. We'll do our usual hammerhead deployment and just blow off the cobwebs. So right now we're rocking. Oh, we've got one Pilum and one Sabo, haven't we? So we have not got the optimal setup right here. We might want to set everything to auto fire actually, but let's just get within range. We just want to keep kiting this thing really, because we can keep it out of weapon range. Look at that, we've overloaded it already without getting in weapon range. We've not yet even had to put our shields online. So don't get greedy is the message with this one. With the way this is fitted, we are just going to keep our enemies at range, stick largely in the backfield. Oh god, we took one hit there and that was a bad one. Need to get just a bit closer for the turrets. Here we go. Yeah, like if we can get within turret range, we can just spam them then, once they're close. They're mismatched at the moment because we haven't been able to find another Pilum to go on the other side. So I just tested them, Pilum and Sabo, so that I could see what the difference of the two were. The plan is to get a second Pilum launcher on there. But we haven't found one in this system while we've been running this mission. And I didn't have it fitted to double Sabo like we had before because we were testing the Pilums. But they're in a weapon group, but they're on alternate fire. And that was because I wanted to test the two of them out and see how they were working. But they probably need to be together for the sake of pressure. Because we've got the expanded missile racks, so the Sabos have got for 24 ammo, and then obviously the Pilums are unlimited. They've got their own relaunchers. So what we could do is we could set one of them into a weapon group on auto fire. Yeah, exactly. So what we'll do is we will put the Pilum into its own weapon group on auto fire, and we will just control the Sabos so that we're controlling ammo. Everything else can be firing as is. But we're good, we know what we're doing now. We've got control of this one weapon for a bit of pressure. Everything else we just get vaguely within range. And we are... I think we've got like a 20% range bonus on top of our 900, and all these are 900 as well, all of our turrets, because of the ballistic rangefinder. So we're at we're at 1080 or something, which is pretty good. Yeah, it is. We're definitely trying to find that second Pilum launcher. But everywhere we've visited in this system, nowhere had a second one. So we're going to do that, but we're going to do it after we've been to do this intercept. However, before we do anything else, It's not a terrible idea, to be fair. So we could switch that for the other Sabo medium, which is... We've got the Sabo SRM pod, that's a medium. No, that. We did have another medium Sabo somewhere, I thought. Oh, didn't we? No, we then put it on something else, didn't we? Oh no, we have got it. We have... no, we'd have to buy it. Oh well, so we need more ordnance. Don't want to drop too much in terms of dissipation. If we do that, we stuck it on something. The other SRM pod. Oh no, there we go. There we go. We have got one in our cargo hold, but we need another point of. Yeah, there it is. It's because I didn't see it because of the lack of OP. So we'll stick those in there and we'll do that. Right, we now want to get round here as quickly as we can without getting into solar flares and corona and all that kind of stuff. Right, let's see what we can see. We are on our way to the fringe jump point. Who's this? Bounty hunter. Non-quest related. Oh! Here we've got, those are not quest related. We've got a mercenary scout patrolling, that's fine. I mean, we're quite a long way out from the jump point yet, so I'd be surprised if it was going to be these guys. This Syndrian Dictat arc took us all of the last stream, and I absolutely love it for that. Right, who've we got? We've got... we have a hostile bounty hunter fleet pursuing us, and they look pretty damn handy. That's interesting. So, yeah, that's fine. Oh, this is what we said last time. At least the game was saved. We might need to reload and refit that Sabo, but the game is saved. They've got some big old ships there. Let's go talk to them first. I mean, it doesn't say they're quest related, but they could be the bounty hunters that were pursuing our contact. Right, they're going to try and e-burn. That's cost them a little bit of readiness. Right, engaging this fleet in battle will not cause any change to your reputation with the faction it nominally belongs to. You're being hailed by the independent fleet. The independent fleet manoeuvres to prevent you from disengaging easily. It's aware of your identity because we left the transponder on. That's fine. Let's talk to them. The comms open.
Independent fleet,
The Merc says with bored professionalism.
I have been contracted to undertake an operation which is still ongoing. You must leave this volume immediately.
Right. What are you doing? I was expecting to meet a ship or fleet here. Who are you working for? I must investigate that debris field. I'll just be going for now. We're not going. I want to know who they're working for.
Ah!
He frowns, not that we can really tell in his polished helmet.
My mission parameters require I not reveal the identity of my employer. Enormous penalty clause there.
I was expecting to meet a ship or fleet here. He looks a touch uncomfortable.
Then I would suggest that waiting around will not be a productive use of time.
I must investigate that debris field.
You must not,
The Merc says without blinking.
I shall inform you now I have been tasked with using deadly force to ensure that the debris field remains untouched.
So we could say that we'll be on our way, and presumably we can fly around them to the debris field if we get out of sight and stealth up a little bit. Not that there's a huge amount of hiding in this part of space, but depends on when they're flying. I'm going to tell him I'll be on my way and see if I can find an alternate route. Burn bright and far, he says, and we cut the comlink. So we shall leave. Transponder's going off. Right, we've got nowhere to hide. Let's just see if we can't get round there. Can we hide in? So we've got a Hadon Velocet's the ice giant. Giant planet composed primarily of water, ammonia and methane. Depths of gravity generates enough pressure to form a metallic hydrogen core. Here we go. Ooh. Yeah, I don't care about that. What I do care about is we're within the sinking band now. So that slows our detection range. Look at this, I'm learning from Karma. I'm totally learning. I saw the blue halo and wondered if we would be able to get a bit of stealth inside here. So from here, we can hide from this fleet quite well and watch their movements. Oh, what's that? We've got somebody else in here with us. We've got a smuggler. Go about your smuggling business. I like the fact that we're not the only ones who've decided hiding in here is a really good plan. Right, they've gone to the other side. Let's just see what we can do with this debris field. Where's their... We go to the north of them. We can dash in there and have a look at that field, because I think they're patrolling it pretty effectively. Right. Let's go investigate the debris field before they can do anything. Whew. Your sensors officer surveys the dead and cooling debris field. Summary scans indicate no active vac suits or intact ship compartments. Macario's agent is almost certainly dead. The transponder, however, is still alive, barely. A salvage drone retrieves the upper portion of a burnt and blasted corpse. Your ops chief personally extracts the intact data core. Just a quick twist with a pair of pliers. It awaits your inspection. The field appears stable and will not drift apart, so it's possible that we find something of value, but there's high risk. We're going to inspect the core. Your technology officer makes quick work of cleaning up the core and setting up a short-range EM field interface. Doesn't take long for the report. The contents of the file system held by the core are encrypted, of course, by Tritachion's best. There is readable metadata, however, so we will have a look at the metadata. Oh wow, right, so Andrada, and we've got Perseus, Hercules, Jason, Hector, Achilles, Leonidas and Pericles. It's hard to say. Your tech officer looks hesitant. I mean, Andrada, a list of names. I'd say family of some kind, but it doesn't match anything on the public demography file on Philip Andrada. But it comes down to the metadata. If you examine that, all the encrypted archives were created over a period of about a month back in cycle 182. And then all of them, except Andrada Perseus, have been updated within the last week or so. Ooh. What happened to Perseus? This is getting exciting. Or what didn't happen? Your tech officer glances up and nervous at being seen as impertinent, quickly continues. Perseus was last updated near the end of cycle 205, as if a telemetry feed stopped or lost contact. Or, as I was suspecting, someone died. Your technology officer nods at the implication. I'll throw the standard breakers at the decrypt job, but it's theoretically impossible it'll crack before the end of the universe. If you want to read these files, we're going to need another way in. You have backups of the files made. Whatever has Macario got his fingers into? So we need to get back to Macario on Syndria with news of his agent's death. Yes. Yeah, it's the Persian sector. Thank you, Karma. Those kind of core reminders are very, very important. Hence the Persian League and so on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave here and we are going to try and blast out of here with an E-burn. So we can E-burn out. Can we... We could probably continue to scan that. If we went dark, they're even smaller now. Can we actually try and salvage something from there other than what we've got already? Yes, we can. Ooh, close-range scans of the debris field reveal several ships that could be restored to basic functionality. Any ships that aren't recovered will be scuttled, and any fitted weapons and fighter LPCs will be recovered. Let's consider some ship recovery here. So we've got a Gemini freighter. We've got a Brawler gunship, and we've got another Kite, although it's a Kite S. So the Kite S is like the stock version of the Kite. Unmodified original civilian model in pristine stock condition. Not really, Karma. You have mentioned it, but it had no. You have. I don't remember any of the detail. If you did, so we got comprised storage isn't a big deal. Degraded drive field and erratic fuel injector aren't great. The maximum burn. I think we've got a number of ships with a max burn of 8, so it's not going to hurt the fleet speed. So that's one thing. However, I'm interested in the Gemini. Ship has suffered extensive damage which cannot be repaired without costly restoration at a dockyard. Okay, cool. I mean, my plan is not to take the Kite. I think we've got a couple of them already. So this comes with right. So we've got some fighters in here. So we have a Gladius Heavy Interceptor wing, but it comes with 4 demods. So we've got degraded engines. So the top speed is down. Not the end of the world. The erratic fuel injector, the unreliable subsystems and the faulty automated systems mean that our fuel cost is up, and our skeleton crew capacity is massive, and our peak performance is down. Cool. I could definitely be tempted to take the Gemini because we've never had one. So what have we got? We've got 1 medium missile slot, 2 medium ballistic, and a fighter bay. So we sort of sit it somewhere near the back, presumably. Deploys reserve carriers, yeah. Alright, reserve deployment is the system. Deploys reserve fighters that can fight for a short time before returning to the carrier, temporarily doubling the number of fighters in the wing. That's kind of cool. And then the Brawler, which has got glitch sensor arrays, faulty power grid, and structural damage. So we've lost armour plus hull, plus flux capacity and dissipation. This one's looking a bit limpy. Destroyer grade power generator. So 2 small universal turrets and 2 medium ballistic. Interesting. And it's got manoeuvring jets. Right. Any advice on these, Karma? So in terms of whether any of these are absolutely worth grabbing, or whether actually they're not that, like you say, they're not uncommon. Yeah, they are pretty bad demods. Yeah, structural damage I really don't like. I mean, that combined with the faulty power grid, which I assume is what's giving it the flux capacity and dissipation and the hull integrity and armor rating, makes it pretty bad. Yeah, and the way I look at the Gemini is we could potentially just get a dedicated carrier with more than 1 fighter bay to do the job a little bit more effectively if we're going to be looking at carriers. I personally think that we salvage all 3 of these rather than dragging them on board. Because if you look, we haven't got a lot of available crew either. So we're going to have to mothball some stuff and all sorts of things. I don't think there's anything here so shiny and demod free that we're like, yeah, we'll just take it. I think we recover and then we get out of here as quickly as we can. Yeah, that's good to know. Thank you, Karma. That's the kind of thing that's really, really useful for me, because I could see me just sort of going, I'll get one somewhere else without all those horrible demods, and then have you say like 10 minutes later, actually you'll struggle to find one of those in the game, you'd be better off buying it and actually spending the cash to restore it. So we're only 29% effectiveness because of the debris field density, and a 25% bonus to the amount of fuel recovered, which is good. So we're going to begin salvage operations. And we did okay. Ooh, and we got a Gladius LPC, which is quite nice. Presumably we got that from the Gemini. So we'll take all of those. Got to remember where the dude was. He was over there, isn't he? Right. We've done a little dip. We're good. He doesn't even know. We will fly through the Umbra out here, and then we'll stop running dark. Oh, I'm hitting that twice like a transponder. Don't need to do that. Transponder's on, which is good because we've got Lions Guard patrols out here. And then we want to go back to Syndria. All right, Macario. Let's see what you've got for us. You're welcome to have a go, Bounty Hunter, if you want to. Ooh, stoppity, stop. Okay, we've got more smugglers. A lot of smugglers going on around here. I'm not dashing through any of this. We've got patrols. Fair enough. Just making sure we didn't have any more wrecks from the old pirate fights a little while ago. It's always worth seeing if we can find some derelicts. Ah, right, so we could have pirates and derelicts knocking around all over the place again. Thank you, Karma, well spotted. You know how good I am at scanning the screen and seeing everything. And that is not good at all. Right, to command and control. Right, let's see what Macario's got to say. He wastes no time with greetings or posturing. I would not be so naive as to ask you to delete your copy of the data, Macario says with inhuman calm. I'm sure your people are quite capable of creating a thorough charade of compliance. What happened to Perseus? Ooh, are these the heirs of Andrada? Only 6 left. I'm going to ask what happened to Perseus. Yeah, okay. Good call, Karma. See where they're actually going. Macario stares unblinking. Have I so underestimated you? There will come a time when decisions must be made, dear Captain. It takes a moment to tap at a datapad. I trust you have gained some appreciation for my generous leadership style. He just gave us 150k, which is good. Ooh, now, I want to know who Macario is loyal to, I really do. But he mentioned experimental ship hull in a previous conversation, and we did say on Monday that's what we were very, very excited about. So we're going to ask him about the experimental ship hull. Did I? He chuckles. Mercenary to the end, eh? I'll have arrangements made. I'm so pleased that you value what I can provide. This will be important, and soon. Oh, we gained an executor class battleship hull? Okay. His eyes open wide. Don't you see it, Captain? I have no need to emblazon my face upon history. Merely... He grows quiet. Yeah, I did. To direct it, correct it, trim the loose ends which hold us back, tie us down. That is all, Captain, he says, reasserting a mask of calm. For now, I'm sure we shall speak again soon. The comms cut to the crest of the Syndrian Diktat Internal Security Ministry, which has gained us a great chunk of XP, and we're up to 10 story points. We've completed the Usurper's quest line. And we've gained ourselves a big fat battleship. So we've got an Executor. It's got 1D mod special modifications. During an inspection of an early prototype, Supreme Executor was heard to comment unfavourably on the exposed conduits running along the passageways and the danger these must pose to the brave and loyal crew under combat conditions. The new chief designer, a loyal officer appointed by the Supreme Executor himself, instructed the forge programmers to make accommodations for the installation of special blast-proof insulated paddling by Syndria itself. If the passages are a bit narrower, conduits prone to overheating, and flush set panels somewhat unwieldy to access, the official readiness reports include no criticism of the changes. Everyone agrees, in both public and, as the Internal Security Ministry can attest, in private, that the stark grandeur of the Lions Guard fleet is breathtaking. So crew casualties in combat are increased by 10% because of our cramped walkways and what have you. Base flux dissipation rate is reduced by 5, and the repair rate for disabled weapons and engines is reduced by 25, so it's compromised by its special modifications. Yep, we have gone straight to the Executor. I mean, this thing's a mobile battle fortress. Look at it, it's ridiculous. So it comes with an Energy Bolt Coherer originally designed by Tritachyon Corporation for use on its combat drone ships. The coherent's field strength has to be dialed down to allow operation on crewed vessels. Increases base range of all non-beam energy and hybrid weapons by 100, which is good. Coherence field is usable under combat conditions with stresses on the hull resulting in spot failures that release bursts of lethal radiation, so crew casualties in combat are up by 50%. So our crew casualties on this ship are going to be enormous. Yeah, the description definitely says that it increased crew casualties because of it. And the flux rate is not as good, and the repair rate for disabled weapons and engines is down by 25%. So we're definitely going to struggle with crew losses on this ship. And it's got solar shielding, originally developed by Diktat engineers after spending cycles dealing with the unique conditions of the inner Asconia system. Decreases the effect operating in a solar corona has on combat readiness by 75%. Also has the same effect against storms in deep hyperspace. In combat, reduces energy damage taken by 10%. Ooh, and we could S-mod it to increase the reduction from the coronae and stuff to 100%. So we can just ignore coronae and hyperspace storms completely. Is that only for that ship, presumably? Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking, Karma. We are... Yeah, only for that ship. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, first of all, we're going to have to find things to outfit it with, and it's got a heck of a mishmash of different stuff on it. However, we've got 2 large energy hardpoints. We have picked up quite a bit of cash, so we could outfit this as the absolute flagship of our otherwise very ragtag fleet. I'd forgotten we picked up the Vanguard as well. What's the Vanguard's just rocking stuff at the moment, isn't it? God, 350 ordnance points for this insane battleship. Let's just see what the auto fit options are. So the standard auto fit is Pilum 4 heavy autocannons. I mean, hilariously bad, I think, is definitely the way. The elite fit, 2 giga cannons. I mean, that's going to have nothing, because we're not going to have any of these. And we've got 1 Pilum on the back here. Not that I think we've got 1 to spare. Oh no, we have got 1 to spare, haven't we? Because of course, we took it off the Manticore. Yeah, I suspect this will be relatively horrific. But even then, the amount of hull that we've got on this thing could just see it through. Mixing up Pilum launchers? Yeah, and well, that's the thing, is the other option is we can actually start trying to buy stuff for hard points, but we've got, I mean, there's nothing for sale at a large size here. It would definitely be compromised anyway. Although again, we can stick the kinetic blasters on here. We have got 3 of them in our cargo hold, these kinetic blasters. Would it be worth, given that it's going to have huge maintenance costs and massively slow the fleet down, and at the moment isn't actually giving us anything beefy, would it be worth shoving this thing in storage? Because we'd know where it is. It's on Syndria, because, you know, Syndria is where we got it as part of our mission. And then, I mean, I suppose what I'd have to do is I'd have to remember that I had it, and I'd have to remember my sort of desired outfitting for it as well, so when I was out around shopping around the galaxy we could start picking things up for it. But yeah, it's certainly going to change the face of how we fly around the place. Oh wow, okay, that I did not know. So what is its base value? Right, 46,000. I mean, that's not. Don't care about that, do we? We're not gonna want to do that. I mean, I think we went through all of this to get ourselves the ship, so I think we've got to try and fit this thing out in whatever hilarious compromised way we can for now. So we've got 3 forward-facing ballistic hardpoints. Low sustained rate of fire, high per burst damage. So we could have like mortars on the front. The kinetic blasters are anti-shield. So if we had, and they've got a range of 600, but the base range of, are they beam weapons? They're not beam, are they? No, they're not. They've got a refire delay on them. So they would be up to 700. Yeah. I'm assuming that to buy a new one is going to cost me like 10 times that or something, or certainly, you know, 5 times. So if we had these on, these are all going to have a range of 700 because of the energy bolt coherer. Are there any more for sale here? Ooh, right. There's 4 phase lances on the black market, so these are beams. So that would make it a real. Now the Phase Lance isn't going to get the bonus from the Energy Bolt Coherer because it is a beam weapon. But Pulse Lasers and Graviton Beams would. The Graviton Beams have got a good range anyway, although there's only 1 available. Wow, I like that. So disrupts target shields, increasing all shield damage taken. That's another beam. So the pulse lasers match the kinetic blasters in terms of range. They've got 250 DPS, 375 flux per second. The pulse laser is more damage per second, less flux per second, and there's 3 of those. So the refire delay on that is better. They fire more often. Flux per second is 375, damage per second is 250. The pulse lasers are just general, so they do 100% against everything, which I really like. So actually, 3 pulse lasers rolling at 700 range, doing 240 flux per second and 300 damage per second, equally across everything, shields, armour and hull, could be kind of cool. So we could have, for now, we could have a kinetic blaster and 3 of the... It sort of is, isn't it? 3 pulse lasers. I think we'd definitely go for that. And then we could put the other 2 kinetic blasters, for now, on the outer hardpoints, because we don't have any heavy weapons. Oh, right, okay. Right, if that's the way you think it's going, Karma, I'm going to prove you wrong. Watch this. We definitely want the pulse lasers out in the front. So we do that, and then we've got a kinetic blaster there, a kinetic blaster there, and a kinetic blaster here. And then for the large missile hardpoint, we've got 1 large pilum. There's 1 locust. That's only a medium. Yeah. So we could put 1 of the long pilums and 1 of the large pilums and the medium pilums onto it for now, because they're firing the same thing. It's just that there's a longer refire delay on the medium pilum compared to the large one. So that gives us some long range support. The whole thing is, at the moment, because of my fit, I'm not saying this is what it's meant to do, but it's basically a little blaster boat because they've not got great range. And in the small energy turrets we could have, and those are fixed, aren't they? Oh no, they're turrets on the side. So everything's sort of side turrety. But the kinetic blasters are straight ahead. So actually, what I'd rather do is stick the blasters here and have the pulse lasers going straight ahead. Right, so the pulse lasers are fixed forwards. This thing's so wide as well, that's going to come back to haunt me. So 2 blasters, 2 pulse lasers, and then pulse lasers on the outer sides. This is going to be utterly disastrous, right? We know this from the off. This is exactly what's going to happen. Back facing, we've got a medium ballistic turret. Like, the more weapons we can fit on this, the better we're going to benefit from our weapon OP spent flux dissipation stuff. So out the front, we've got 3 assault chain guns, right, that would technically fit on a medium point at the front. So they are shorter range, they're only 450, and they're anti-armour. So we'd have to get really close up, and while we were doing so, we could be plinking away with the lasers and firing our pilums. It's very slow, we probably couldn't do it. Maximum burns down to 7 when we're flying this Karma, so it's definitely hurting us significantly. Right. So if we had assault chain guns right up here, so we'd have to get right up close, but they're anti-armour, and then up here we can have heavy autocannons, which are better range. They're more matched towards the range of our lasers, and they're going to do more shield damage. And then we can have a couple of PD lasers here. So a burst PD laser. So they've both got perfect accuracy and excellent turn rate. The burst PD laser can fire sustained, so we can really be taking stuff down. So we could do that. So it's not perfect. We really want a bigger LRM here, and we want big weapons for the outside here. But that would give us some weapons. Oh god, and then we've got turrets at the back. So technically we could put burst lasers on the back as well, and then another medium ballistic turret. And what we could do with is we could stick another heavy autocannon on the back. I mean, we could stick just point defense on there, but we've got 2 point defense arcs covering that back. So if here, because that's never going to fire forwards, so from behind us we could just have another heavy autocannon, like belting out anyone who tries to get behind us, putting shield pressure on them. So that gives us some weapon mounts, right? This thing at the moment is an absolute Jekyll and Hyde monstrosity. So we'll put the Pilums on a group auto firing. We want the pulse lasers are all going to... Right, is there anything I'm going to want to fire? And I don't think there is particularly. So I would almost say that the pulse lasers and the kinetic blasters all go together. I'm not saying I'm even going to be flying this thing at all. Even if we're rolling with it, I'm not sure I'm going to be flying it. And then we'll do the PD lasers down here in their own little group. So everything's all grouped together. Everything's on auto fire, firing linked. That's the whole thing set up. All I would have to do if I was piloting it is just pilot it. Then we want to look at some hull mods. Yeah, I will absolutely tag this as a jury rig loadout. This is not anything we want to keep particularly. Right, we've not got beam weapons. All our PD lasers are burst. All of our lasers are sort of burst firing. The armoured weapon mounts wouldn't necessarily be terrible, because it increases armour by 10%. Well, 10% of 1500 is a decent chunk. However, any hull increase on this is going to make it an absolute beast, isn't it? We could give it an augmented drive field, so a lot of OP, but we've got a lot of OP, and an augmented drive field would take the maximum burn up, which means it's not hurting our fleet burn. So I quite like the idea of giving it an augmented drive field, because that's going to take it up to like a 9. Yeah. See, this is the kind of ship where if we can get the right fit set up, I would consider S-modding stuff into this to try and make it into just an absolute beast. So blast doors would be super useful on here. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to sort of think that, Karma. So any advice entirely welcome. So blast doors gives us 60% fewer crew casualties from hull damage. Now we're going to be taking hull damage on this because we've got it's pretty much hull tanking when you look at the beastliness of the hull. before we start doing that, let's just how high can the capacitors go on this? Like, is it like 50 or something? It must be massive. Right, so yeah, so we do 50 and 50. We're going to come back down from this. So the way I'm looking at this, right, is blast doors, we take 60% fewer crew casualties, and because of our hull mods and features, we take a lot more crew casualties on here, but it increases hull by 20%, and our hull is 17,000, so 20% is going to give us another, what, like 3,400 hull? So that could be very good. Takes us over 20,000 hull. We could do a converted hangar. Giving us a fighter bay as well, so we've got some fighters to defend it while it's lumping its way up through combat. Now the dedicated targeting core could be quite nice on here, so it increases range of ballistic and energy weapons by, presumably this is a capital ship, so we would get 50% range. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm just going to get, things are going to fly rings around me basically, unless everything else I've got tackles it down. But if we shove that on there, we'd get 50% more range. So most of our weapons are going to be about 1,000, our energy weapons, and our forward face, like the lowest ones we've got. These are tiny, but they would get up to about 600. These would get up to a range of about 1,200, which would be pretty nice. Although getting to them is going to be pretty slow. I mean, I'd use it almost as a wrecking ball for... remind me what the ITU does. So if we got... So the dedicated targeting core... it's just literally not as good as the ITU, because presumably this is the biggest ship size. So we'd get a 60% with this for both ballistic and energy weapons, instead of the 50% from the dedicated targeting core. And it costs the same. I mean, we're not going to be firing all our weapons at once, especially with the arcs and stuff, so that's not as scary as it looks, but dissipation is not phenomenal. So we could roll with a distributor. That makes a difference. But heavy armour would give us 500 more points of armour, so that's like a third more armour than we've got. 2,000 armour plus 20,000 hull. A lot of the time I think we would just fly it without worrying too much about the shields being up. Especially with the blast doors on, where we're losing less crew. So to do that, this is where you can just live watch me doing something utterly ridiculous. Right, so we've got armour of 2,000, we've got a hull of 20,000, we've got massive flux capacity. The dissipation is not great, but it can stick in the fight for a lot longer. We could also pull capacitors down in favour of vents. I'd almost say if we did that and at least had our venting as high as we could and then a decent chunk of capacity. This is by no means the finished piece. I don't even know what to throw this up against in terms of a test. I really don't. And I think we're going to struggle to even catch ships in this. Look at those arcs! That's insane. That's absolutely mental. So we have got a shield, and it is pretty decent coverage. We've got range on this thing. We'll have a look at how it fluxes. It's certainly not fluxing out as much as this is, but this is not a fair contest in terms of like-for-like hulls. And then if we do this, it ups our damage for a bit. I mean, the thing's an absolute beast, but we're not going to want to deploy it very often in terms of the cost of... Like, right, we're fluxing out a little bit here. We can afford to sort of flux down and wait. Right. Let's just get in there and pile on the damage again. Again, we sort of want to pick our arc as well, don't we? To get most of the weapons working. I'm not quite sure what the best arc is. Like, if we go this way and let some of the side weapons hit. We're still building up a lot. Oof. Okay, that's what happens when you get within range of the 3 chain guns. So we were not using the 3 chain guns at all at that point. And as soon as we got within chain gun range, we were shredding. Okay. End simulation. Okay. Right. So, how do we do this? We're still in an ad break at the moment. If we go to the auto fit, can I click to assign this variant to a slot? I want to make sure that we we cancel that. I want to save this as its own jury rig fitting, or do we just want to call it jury rig in here? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I will wait on Karma's sage advice for that, but I think this thing could be fun. We're going to try flying it and see what it does. I mean, I don't think I'm going to fly it. I think I'm going to. We might put our aggro captain on it, who still needs a name actually. So we'll wait for the ad break to end, and then I will take a very short break, having fitted this, and we will go and do some exciting space-based action. Right, ads are over, we're back up. So, yeah, I know you're still waiting for a dude with a helmet. In fact, we'll have a quick look in a minute before we leave here and see if there's a guy with a helmet that we can get for you. For those of you in chat, if you wish to have anybody named after you and you're not familiar with the way we do this, anyone who's following, any followers, can name either a ship or one of our pilots. Before we do that, Karma... ooh, yeah, well, so, right, Karma, before we do that, if I want to save this as a jury rig, do I just want to name the ship jury rig for now, or can I save it in the auto fit? Could I click one of these empty slots, assign this version to there, and call it jury rig? Yeah. So basically one of these. Hang on, custom, am I missing something? So there's 2 empty slots. There's the elite and standard versions. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Right, battleship is jury-rigged. We're keeping it. We're going to fly it. It's an absolute disaster. You know, trust me, if as a man who cannot really fit a hound very well, this really is a bit of a challenge. But we're good. And I think you're right. We absolutely could buy the medium pilums. And I think we will buy them all. Hell, if I could hit the right button. Right. Have we got any on the black market? Cancel that. Because we've already done a bit of black market shopping. I suspect we've got very high suspicion. But there are no pilums on there. I don't like the makeshift shield generator. Like, if I find a makeshift shield generator somewhere in the game, obviously we'll learn it, but... So we'll grab these. Locust. Right, let's have a look. In the black market, presumably. Yes, there is. There is a locust. We were talking about that when we did the initial fit. That is a... Oh, hang on, that is a large fit. We could mount that on the other one. I thought it was a medium because the icon is covering the third box. But we could absolutely have that. Because then we could put the locust here. So at least we've got two large launchers. So what does the locust do? Large short-range guided missile system launching large numbers of projectiles to overwhelm, cripple fighter squadrons in a single salvo. Dragon, if I didn't have you here, man, I'd have no idea what to do. Yeah, so it's sort of point defense against small stuff, isn't it? You make a very valid point here, my friend. Right, we need 18 available points. What have we got? Oh, 18. That's like that, isn't it? So we can now put the locust on. We'd want to just tweak the weapon group so that the locust is in its own little group. Put the locust over here, and we'll have the locust on manual fire, just for the sake of me seeing what it does. We run a simulation. Right. So if I hit up the locust, so that's very much a do not come near this side of my ship. It's sort of backwards firing because of the mount on here. Like, whereas the pilum is launching stuff that then turns round and heads towards the enemy, this is very much anything that approaches me right in this very thin line has a vague chance. I'm not sure it works as well on this particular hull. But it is very much a deterrent of do not flank me, thank you very much. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not assuming just fighters and frigates. I mean, look at it. We can test it on a rock, and it's got a huge amount of range. But I'm just thinking more to do with... oh man, you're assuming I can actually target anything with anything. That's that's not in a useful position to do that. Right, let's spawn our usual... oh, mind you, let's spawn something really beefy that actually will survive a little bit. Because all my other guns are going to do their work, but we'll give it a go. Oh, the hammerhead's in here as well. Okay, let's do this. Quest, man! Hey, welcome on in, and welcome raiders. We've just got our first ever battleship. Oh, I've not even got the right weapon system on. Here we go. And we're just testing out my first attempt to fit a battleship, which I shouldn't do that. What I should do is this. I've changed my control scheme by accident. Move. You've tuned in at just the right time to see me lose a very, very expensive ship. But yeah, we're test fitting the executor that we just got from doing the Syndrian Diktat mission. Right, I need to just... Yeah, my control scheme has now shifted. I must have that on as a toggle. Oh, the settings changed, didn't they? The settings got changed when I had the Java update, which is why it wasn't turning the way I wanted to. So we inverted the behaviour already of the turn to strafe and the auto turn to cursor, but I meant to make that a toggle, which is why I completely lost control of the ship. Oh man, it's great to have you guys on board. Thank you so much for the raid, man. Welcome on in, raiders. We are streaming some Starsector. Starsector Monday. Monday is always our Starsector stream. So we are going to be doing this for at least another hour. And then we're going to try, at Dragon Guy's request, because we normally do a Friday night stream, which is sort of random new games, like things we want to try. And anyone who's subbed, like Dragon, can make a recommendation for that list. And Dragon has recommended Death Road to Canada, which I've never tried other than to boot it up and make sure that Streamlabs detects it and everything. So it's going to be a complete new experience from about 9:30 into Death Road to Canada. But until then, we are going to try and actually do some Starsector. Because mainly tonight, we have finished the Syndrian Diktat initial missions, which was great fun. We do an awful lot of role-playing on this channel, so I got to read lots of stuff in stupid voices, which I was enjoying an awful lot last week, sort of chewing the scenery. And as a reward, they gave us this Executor, which, as I was saying earlier on stream, as somebody who struggles to fit out a hound properly, I am still very much new to the game. This thing has been overwhelming for me to fit, and what I've got is beyond compromised. But I like it. I like it a lot. What we were going to do is we were going to stick a captain in here, weren't we? So... we have an unassigned captain. Of course, we have Dysnomia Robles. Liam has already named a captain, who is currently on the Hound, which is interesting. I thought we'd stuck them on something else. I thought they were... Yeah, maybe not. We might need to move Liam if Liam wants to get moved when he's next around. But we have got Dysnomia Robles. So she is both... she's got active phase cloak skills, not particularly good. And then bonus damage, particularly to cruisers and capital ships. So she may make quite a useful person to put in there for now. I mean, you say I roleplay as an amoral mercenary. I mean, that's sort of my that's my default play style. When I say roleplay, I've played myself. I've just done it in a range of stupid voices. Yeah, quite. How on earth did I stay in character? Well, to be fair, Dragon, you were subbed at the time that you made your recommendation, and therefore you are next, or first ever actually, on the list for our Death Road to Canada. Our random game stream of the week, and Death Road to Canada is the first one up. And we were meant to play it on Friday, but I couldn't stream on Friday because my wife wasn't very well. So we are instead streaming that as a random game at the end of today. And we do a bit of chill RimWorld on a Saturday and Sunday morning, because there's nothing better than coming straight out of bed with a cup of tea, and RimWorld is just the best way to open up your day, because you can take it very slow and easy, but then the adrenaline gets ramped up very, very quickly. I've never touched it, Quist. So Dragon Guy is a great exponent of this game, and was telling me I really needed to play it. So we decided if I was going to play it, we'd do it first time on stream. But like I say, other than loading it up to make sure that it's all cropped right and fits nicely in Streamlabs, I have not done anything with it. So I know the art style, but I know nothing about the game. So I'm very much looking forward to doing a bit of that later on. And we're also going to be playing a bit more Death Road to Canada on our Random Game Friday stream, which is our sort of Friday night intro to the weekend, where we're going to try and split it and do a couple of games. We'll do sort of 2 hours of one, 2 hours of another, and we might pair Death Road to Canada on Friday with some Quasimorph, maybe some Stone Shard, but I quite fancy Quasimorph. I have both of those. I think actually I discovered Quasimorph, either you were streaming it, Quist, or you raided somebody who was streaming it and I was in your chat at the time, and I was like, this looks amazing, I've got to pick this up. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, they did Stone Shard as well, I'll pick that up as well. And I've played neither of them. I've played the tutorial for Stone Shard, that's about it. And I've played probably the first 2 minutes, maybe that first little mission that you get for Quasimorph, and I just thought this is too good to not play on stream, so it's been sitting waiting for a day when I can stream it. So that's our sort of next plan. Right, Dysnomia Robles is going to go on board our executor. So anyone who's following, if you want to name either any of our captains or a ship, then you are entirely welcome. So we have some named captains, as you can see. We have got Liam is currently piloting a Hound, although I think we might stick Liam in something else. I think we put Liam in the Hound because they've got helmsmanship and it would make it even faster. But I can't remember if that was Liam's choice. I think it was. So Liam will stay where he is until I hear otherwise from him. I am currently piloting the Manticore, Bogoose McCroy. We have got a couple of others. So Dysnomia Robles could be renamed by chat, although I think that's one of the greatest names I've seen in Starsector so far. You are not wrong, Dragon. We are very much under strength on crew. We're going to want some more fuel as well, because this thing is, I assume, going to be quite thirsty. But I think we really do need a new name for... Oh, we did. No, we already have one. It's Lieutenant Friendly, of course. He got named. That's fine. His original name was Promise Demure, which I rankled at. I wasn't a big fan of that. Right, so we've got extreme black market suspicion, so we could just buy some more stuff from the black market and save ourselves a fortune. We are going to have to buy more than the black market has, actually. The open market has way more. But maybe we don't want to push our suspicion level beyond extreme. I don't know at what point they start, if there is a point where people start getting uppity with you, even if you're not carrying any contraband, or if it's just a case of, well, you know, we're up at extreme, but every time they search us they find nothing, so we're okay. We have got the advantage that we've got a number of hounds and the Cerberus or something which give us shielded cargo holds, but they're very, very small amounts of our cargo compared to the rest of our now growing fleet. So we're going to have to look a little bit at the fact we've got this great black market suspicion on Sindria itself. If we were to buy it all from here legit with taxes, it's still not going to set us back a vast amount, is it? So if we were to overcrew by a little bit, it's going to cost us 30k. But in the grand scheme of things, we have actually got some money for now, so let's not up the black market suspicion anymore, and let's go and do what we do best. How was your stream, Quest, if you're still here? I meant to ask you. I was all excited with my brand new shiny executor. But yeah, what have you been streaming? I really, really like the look of Quasimorph. It strikes me as the kind of game that I will quite enjoy. Although the one time I did play it, I think I played that intro mission, and then I played the first mission after that, and immediately got murdered. And was like, yeah, this is quite good. We should do more of this. But yeah, I didn't even see what you were streaming today because I was on late. I literally turned the computer on, logged on, and started streaming because I've been busy doing Bank Holiday Monday stuff, which is what we've got a holiday here today on the UK, which I always seem to work more on holidays than not holidays. I caught the tail end of the Subnautica that you were doing yesterday, I think, which has been great fun. I always try and catch the Starsector streams and the RimWorld streams when I can. The Subnautica ones, I was there for the very beginning, and then I've sort of dipped in and out in the middle as I've been on, and it's brilliant because your progress from like climbing out of the submarine, harvesting a little bit and swimming back and things, to this base where you've got planters and all sorts of stuff going on has been rapid, and I love watching those sort of evolving base building experiences. They're brilliant. We were going to look at the pirates, weren't we? You made this point, Karma, that the Asconia bounty has been renewed, and in fact we have got more pirates being sent into Asconia again. The last one ended, but the new system bounty is still live. So we could go and try and hunt ourselves some pirates. I'd be tempted to just leave the Executor undeployed for the price of it. Unless we find a really big pirate fleet, then maybe we want it. Could be completely disastrous, but we maybe give it a go. Right. I think we'll repair our ships, and that is going to require us to buy a lot more supplies. However, Sindria is selling supplies very, very cheaply. Or, relatively so. So where are we? 337 is not bad, but we're taking 4 a day, so if we were to take another 100 supplies easily, maybe actually 200. Yeah. And fuel, let's just have a quick look at our current fuel range. It's not bad, actually. We've got the core within our remit to get to and from, but we've now got plenty of fuel capacity to start making our way further out onto the rim. But yes, thank you very much for reminding me to buy Crew Dragon. We are now in a slightly healthier position. Just have a quick look at that. Yeah, we've still got so maximum burn is still 7. It's 7 now, isn't it? Because of the Executor. Okay, fair enough. It's not 1.7 per day is not ideal, but for what it's giving us, it could be kind of funky. It's maybe the centerpiece of our absolute ragtag bunch of semi-pirated pirate ships. But given that we started this with a really bad beginning, I came out of the tutorial with almost no ships, having gone to the little salvage bit of the tutorial and found most things had really bad combos of demods and just gone, nope, not having them. And I came out of the tutorial and realised actually I'd skipped almost everything and we barely had enough to win our first fight. But we did find some nice or some salvageable derelicts and managed to keep ourselves going up to the point where we're vaguely self-sustaining now. But we now need to find ourselves a great objective. Right. So we could go and hunt system bounties. We could also nip to a bar and just see if we can't get ourselves a mission from there as well. So what I'm going to say is, if anyone wants to name our new crew member, not our new crew member, our existing crew member, or would like to name a ship, you are entirely welcome. And as such, I will leave the fleet screen up with some of the shinier, more exciting looking ships. I'm going to take a 30-second break and just make sure my wife's doing alright and grab a drink. I'll be right back with another cup of tea and we will dive into some actual Starsector action. And depending on what we find out there in terms of pirate strength, we may or may not drop the very badly fitted Executor onto the field and see how she does. It would be nice to give her a bit of a test drive. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. See you guys in just a sec. Let's cough up the slightly better intermission window that we came up with, where at least you can see chat and you can see the screen. And you'll see when I come back, which will be in just a minute's time. I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Right. So, let's do something exciting. And I think the first thing we'll do is we'll head down to a dockside bar and we will see if we can find ourselves something interesting to do. Now, the last time we did this on Syndria, it all kicked off. And we ended up in a great big political machination and subplot that ended up with us being given an executor and quite a good chunk of credits. So you never know what can happen when you go to the pub. Dragon, the temptation is strong. You are already a VIP. You are one of the original subbers of the channel and the biggest supporter who has been here right from the beginning. And I think at some point having mod powers is pretty important, because the one time that, in fact, this is the second time we've been raided and I've not done a shout out. Like, I should be able to do. We went through this last time, didn't we? And it didn't work, but I reckon it's the does it need the @ or does it not need the @? Right, so if I do that, does that work? No, it doesn't. I need to mess with my Streamlabs so the shoutouts work. Yeah, I need so that the bots, the Streamlabs bot should be in here and it should be doing it automatically, but it obviously isn't quite configured correctly, so I need to do that. But you know, you guys know Quist. The guy's an absolute legend. He's raided us before, and if you're not following him, you're doing something wrong with your lives, because if you like my stream, you will love his. It is a good time and a good place to be with a very good bunch of people, and we have people in our chat and on our various I can't remember whether I think Liam's on the Discord as well, and he's one of Quist's mods, so you know, we have high quality people who enjoy both streams. But yeah, definitely, we need mods at this point. We're actually getting to the point where, you know, we've grown the chat and the size of the channel. It's becoming necessary, which is lovely. It's a good position to be in. So I will be modding people. No, you've not missed anything really, Karma. We're just sort of deciding what we're going to do next, and we decided we would go down to the bar. And then I tried to give Quist a shout out for the second time in as many weeks and failed. So I'm going to get my Streamlabs bot set up better and configured to be able to do that. But everybody should be following Quist because the man is a legend. Right. Yes, we did. Yeah, you did miss that. We looked at the pirates and they are coming to Asconia. So one of the things we said is we can undock and start looking for pirate bounties. But we thought we would have a look who was in the bar as well to see if that coloured our choices in terms of where we go. So, oh yeah, we clicked on the bounties tab and had a look at where the pirates were going to. Were you talking about a system bounty in this system? Were you talking about a specific bounty in this system? We'll go and look at that in a second. I thought you were talking about a system bounty rather than a pirate bounty. Right, well, we'll have a look at that in a second. We do have a dishevelled woman in academic uniform bothering some of the better dressed spaces with a glowing tripod, so let's just talk to her before we leave. She turns out to be a scientist, maybe scientist, and is delighted to have someone finally listen to her story. You set your face to a practised, stern but receptive look as you hear her pitch through to the end. "The data doesn't lie," she cries again and again, though you can't make out the sense of the arcane table scrolling over her greasy tripod. "There's an enormous stock of unrecovered domain era technology in this system. No one else can see it. All I ask is," and her voice drops to a whisper, "you retrieve for me the AI core hidden in the midst of the trove. That I get to keep. I'll tell you exactly where to look if you agree to my terms." So we need to accept and promise the ship's AI core to the given address in a specially shielded crate. That sounds pretty cool. We could do that. I know that a lot of people are not going to be happy with us bodding around with an AI core on board, and we have a degree of black market suspicion around Syndria itself, but we can try that. Excellent. Right, we'll leave the bar and we will have a look at the pirate tab. So we've currently got pirate waves coming into Asconia, which is presumably where the system bounty is coming from. Gotcha. Yeah, so what I did was I looked at the bounties tab and saw that we had the one arrow down here. But yes, if we look at the pirates tab, we can also see pirates moving in other directions in and around. I mean, that one cuts across near Asconia as well. So yeah, they are actively raiding. We did check that from the arrow, rather than it being a hangover bounty. So we should be able to get some fights in this system if we want to do some pirate hunting. And I suggest that's quite a good idea. So why don't we start with that? So we're going to do something I very rarely do, and that is save the game. I have remembered. And let's go see if we can't find some pirates. So last time we headed towards Umbra, didn't we? And that's a good way to grab pirate bounties. Although, so this is exactly what we did last time. Was we flew towards Umbra, we found some pirates, we got demolished by said pirates. We're in the Corona at the moment, we don't want to be doing that. I always forget that Sindri is so close to the star. Have a little fly down the old stone river for a second and just... I don't want to be arguing with any Sindrians. Yeah, absolutely, Karma. I mean, we've done system bounties before, haven't we, where we didn't find any pirates or any indication that pirates had had sort of been there or been wrecked. So, right, here we go. Oof. So we've got an unidentified fleet. We're still rocking a transponder here, which we probably don't need to be doing this far out. Yeah, they don't want to tangle with us. I was sort of hoping that we would find a bigger fleet. Last time we came around here we had a huge fleet that actually wiped us out. Oh, of course. Yeah, I've forgotten that we'd been doing some wild stuff around Umbra. Right, so they're really not going to want to talk to us. We've got nobody we can hire in Umbra. Yeah, I think we'll leave them to peace. Did you just fire an interdiction pulse at me? I mean, if you want to be a moron, we can try and fight. That would be fine. Oh yeah, alright. Not quite sure what this little dude is doing. Let's pursue! They've got a single Minotaur. I think the second in command can take it, and we just want... Let's let Liam have some action. And we'll just send a couple of the hounds after him. Nothing too expensive in terms of deployment. If we sent all three of the hounds are pretty rapid. No enemy ships managed to escape. brilliant. Let's have a look at ship recovery. We could take a Minotaur, but it is... Oh my god, look at the D-mods. I'm not particularly bothered about a Minotaur with 5+ D-mods on it. Yay! We got 1800 for our system bounty, and we've improved our relationship with the Dictat, which is nice. Let's run with transponders on again, because they're already going to be relatively irritated by us. And I think we'll head towards the jump point. We had a lot of pirate activity around the jump point last time. Although there's a jump point down here as well, isn't there? But last time the main pirate activity was coming through the main jump point by Sindria. And they were coming from a similar direction as well. What have we got going on up here? Unidentified fleet patrolling. Okay. Patrol away, unidentified fleet. So a lot of the patrols last time, a lot of the pirate encounters were just north of here. Let's see what we can find. Ah, we've got something on an active sensor burst further out over here. More patrolling fleets. We've got to be very, very close as well to running out of... I'm going to head up here, which is where we saw some of the fighting last time. We've got to be very close to running out of our monthly income from the academy. Right, we've had some pirate activity down here, it looks like. Because we've definitely got wrecks. We'll see what we can pick up from these, see if we can hit some derelicts. Ooh, interesting. We've got heavily damaged Kite D. I know we can look at the mods and see, but we've got a kite or two already. I think we'll just grab what we can from these and go and actually try and find some pirates. What have we got? Oh, look, another buffalo. So that is not the Mark II, that is just a base buffalo. So that's the actual freighter rather than the sort of combat freighter. And compromised storage is our first demod on a freighter, which is not ideal. We're losing 25% of the cargo capacity, so I think we'll just salvage that for what it's worth. And then we'll get ourselves out of the Corona, thank you very much. Wow, that really, really spiked the the supply requirement for a little bit. That was the wrong key. Right, what I was looking for was... Oh, the technology cache is all the way out here in Arkham, and that's like the other side of the galaxy. But there's no time limit on when we go and get the... When we go and get that. We've also still got, on this playthrough, we still have 2 unvisited Luddic shrines. And it'd be nice to tick off these 2 Luddic shrines, because we do like a good Luddic shrine on this channel, don't we? Very, very good point. So no captured satellites, but the fringe jump point might be where they're sort of coming to this time. They've definitely come through the Sindrian jump point, because we've got quite a lot of activity around here, but there doesn't appear to be too much now. Oh, although we've got activity down near that satellite. Oh yeah, see, we're up to monthly expenses now rather than monthly income. Scan away, please. You're fine. Now, I thought I saw something somewhere down near here. Yeah, patrolling picket. What's this? Mercantile convoy. Yeah, nothing too exciting. I think we need to go and do something. Something interesting and exciting. Because in about 40 minutes we're going to try out Death Road to Canada. And before that, I think we need to get into a decent scrap or an interesting exchange or something we can earn something from, because we're now starting to lose money on a monthly basis. Our upkeep costs are spiralling slightly. Yeah, 50 supplies per month. Interesting. Right, let's have a look at... So the two shrines we've not been to yet are Beholder Station and Gilead. And they're sort of out in a line. So Beholder Station's on Chalcedon, am I right? I'm sure we've done that in another playthrough. So I think that's what we're going to do. We've got the fuel for it, we have some supplies. Arguably at this point we should buy even more supplies because they're quite cheap on Sindria. So let's go and absolutely stock up on supplies while we're here. And then we will take the Sindrian jump point and we will head over to Chalcedon and go to the Beholder Station Shrine. I'm something of a pilgrim myself. Oh, that tea is hot. Pick up like 500 supplies. Right. We're supplied up to the nines. And then we want to go to Kamari Kandam. Just stay out of the worst of the solar flares. That's a good point. We could do a personal bounty, couldn't we? Well, I'll tell you what, let's go and see if we can get into this Luddic Shrine. Is Chalcedon the one that we did... Oh, I've gone straight past the jump point while I'm chatting. Alright, Karma. I think Chalcedon might have been the one that we did whilst we were doing a mission, and they said come back in a week, and we never went back. Right, we've got a fleet over here. That looks like a derelict. Colossus freighter. We could have grabbed that. We absolutely could have taken special measures. But, I mean, to be fair, we have got a ton of story points built up, so maybe we should start now to look at the validity of some of these. Ooh, that was interesting. They boosted away from us. This is where we find a derelict that's even cooler than the Executor, and then we've no idea what we do next. Vigilance class frigate. Let's just see what state it's in. Compromised armour, erratic fuel injector, degraded shields. Oof. Maybe another time. It's not something I'm so desperate for. This is where Karma comes back and is like, you mean you didn't take that? That should be amazing. Something's e-burning to catch us. Luddic pilgrims. Oh no, don't come and try and charge me for stuff. Last time I met Luddic pilgrims, they wanted to charge me 13k to not have to fight them, and it was a heck of a fleet, although we could have taken him. Oh, I didn't mean to turn on the transponder, that's fine. Turn that off. Right, Beholder Station. Okay, so if we have a look at, I would like to visit the shrine. So essentially, originally a research platform established by the Domain Explorarium, funding was only ever a trickle in light of little hope for practical knowledge to be gained from study of Kumarian xenolife. I'm going to try words in a minute. Post-collapse, administration was usurped by a particularly inspired Luddic curate errant, and the station turned into a site of holy pilgrimage for Luddic believers. Only a handful of approved scholars are allowed aboard now, though there are few enough of those in this troubled age. The landing bay is filled with parties of Luddic pilgrims, many dressed in traditional handweave, meeting with subcurates. An attendant looks you over suspiciously and inquires about what business you have coming here. I would like to visit the shrine, please. The attendant receives your request with only the subtlest disapproval. To your surprise, a subcurate approaches to escort you to the shrine's viewing chamber. A vast, dim gallery opens upon a 100-metre diamond plate window, allowing full view of the glory of Kumariaru. Here, pilgrims quietly contemplate the miracle of creation, taking in the sublime and terrible beauty of the gas giant looming below. Storm systems the size of a standard terrestrial world churn with slow majesty, inner-lit with green-violet sheet lightning, teeming with xenolife. Does something incomprehensible look up from the lee of a dark cloud bank at a bright point in that alien sky? Quite possibly. And we have now visited the Luddic Shrine on Beholder Station. We have not been making offerings at the shrine. We are detached with a scientific curiosity. They're going to tax you more, Dragon, because the game loves to tax you, apparently. For anyone who's in chat who's a big Starsector player or Starsector fan, if you're new to the game, or if you are highly experienced, we've got a mix of people on the Discord, so if you're interested, do feel free to drop a follow, do feel free to jump on the Discord, where we have a mix of people like myself who are very new to the game, and people who have bought the game during my streams, which has happened a couple of times now. Tin Mass and Dragon have picked it up. And we're learning there with the help of some of the more experienced veterans like Karma, who is giving us great pointers there on sort of gameplay and how things work, as well as hilarious advice on fleet and ship fits when we show him our absolutely terrible current efforts. It's all done with great support from a wonderful community. So if anyone's interested, do feel free to pop on the Discord. There's a link down at the bottom of the stream in the About section, and you are welcome to join us there. And we talk all things Starsector. We've got a number of categories for RimWorld as well, which I'm learning. And as we fall in love with more and more games, we will expand the remit of the games we talk about. Who knows, we may have a Death Road to Canada section by the end of this evening. I'm going to return to my fleet. So the other option, we could visit the last of the Luddic shrines in Gilead, and then we finish with the Luddic shrines, and then we could go looking for a pirate bounty rather than a system bounty. And I think while we're here, that would be nice. I think it would be good for us to go and sustained burn. It would be good for us to finish off the Luddic shrines, because we've really enjoyed those. Well, I have anyway. I don't know how chat finds it while I'm doing silly Luddic shrines in daft voices, but you know, you can either indulge me, or you can lurk, or you can decide to watch somewhere else if you like. But I do like the Luddic shrines. I think it's one of the things that I absolutely love about Starsector. We've talked about this on the stream quite a few times. The amount of really detailed, really well thought out, buried lore within what looks like a very simple game on the surface is one of the greatest bits of Starsector, and we really shouldn't have come in this jump point, should we? We really want the fringe jump point. Do we not want to go into the Gilead jump point? That I'm sure would be a much better idea. We'll keep the transponder off. Luddic folk don't really seem to care, do they? Oh, here we go. What have you got to say to me? Oh, okay, I am completely wrong. The Luddic Church are not happy with me running with the transponder off. Turn on your transponder and submit to a cargo scan, of course. Alright. Fair enough. Luddic Church have never got annoyed with me before. Maybe it's the pilgrims that don't care. But I didn't think the Luddic Church had been bothered before about us running with transponders off. I don't know, Carl, I'm really looking forward to doing pirate bounties, particularly personal pirate bounties rather than system bounties. I tend to find with the system bounties I've tried, and it's taken me a little bit of time to sort of follow your advice and get an idea of whether they're going to be worth doing. I think you learn some bad habits about system bounties from the first two system bounties that spawn as part of the tutorial, because they work differently. But I really enjoy the idea of system bounties, particularly when you're talking about raising your standing with a faction and stuff. But every time I do a system bounty, I tend to find the fights after the system fleets have already killed all the pirates. There's loads of good salvage if there's a system bounty, but I very rarely find pirates to fight. And it might just be that I'm not looking in the right places, but like last time we went to the Sindria jump point, and that's where all the pirates were coming, but every time we got there, the pirates were being popped before we could do anything, and we didn't earn any money from it. I might need to just change my sort of fleet loadout and speed and think a little bit more about how we do that. But I've found the system bounties quite frustrating in terms of making contact with pirates. I have done a couple of sort of targeted specific pirate bounties, and those are good fun. Although I did a couple that were way out in the sort of outer rim and ran out of fuel quite badly, and wasn't able to get back to the core without emergency assistance. I would like to join the pilgrims visiting the Luddic Shrine, so your fleet approaches Gilead Station. Your fleet transmits identification codes via the transponder, and you're soon granted a slot in a parking orbit. It's well known that pilgrims of the Luddic faith travel here from across the Persian sector to visit the holy shrine of Gilead. The shrine is said to be built where Lud kissed the ground after first stepping onto the surface of the planet. I get the feeling we did this one once on stream before, maybe on a different playthrough. Maybe we did this one on our very first easy playthrough before Karma joined us and was like, don't play on easy, and was absolutely right about that. So we are going to join the pilgrims visiting the Luddic Shrine. Oh, maybe I haven't then. Maybe I've done it off stream. I don't know. Deorbiting to the surface of Gilead is strictly overseen by the Knights of Lud. Your shuttle must queue behind a flotilla of lumbering transports and haulers filled with approved industrial goods. This provides you time to contemplate the face of Gilead. Its continents, once fringed only by alien algae equivalents, were seeded with Earth life by far-roving spore ship of the second wave of human expansion. The Eridani Utopia terraforming megacorp followed, and its vast machines stabilised the climate and ecological processes. Lud came then, pulled down the machines, and the believers who followed maintained the world as a garden wilderness of astounding richness. Truly, it is a gem of the Persian sector. Your shuttle receives a ping from traffic control, permission to descend. The landing bay, one of a score or so allocated to outsiders, is packed with parties of Luddic pilgrims dressed in traditional handweave, led by robed attendants. One such stony-faced attendant meets your shuttle on the pad, and wasting no time, firmly but politely inquires about your business here. I would like to visit the shrine, but first I'm going to ask about the shrine. The attendant dutifully explains that the shrine commemorates the holy site where Lud first stepped onto Gilead, and was brought prostrate to the shock of non-believers to kiss the earth itself. So overcome was Lud by the rapturous touch of divinity. Lud's influence spread by its own evident virtue, the attendant explains, and the industrial terraforming machines were brought down and flowers bloomed in the rubble. There's no mention of strikes, global storms, sabotage, apocalyptic flooding and heat waves, or corporate terror squads in this narrative. It's quite different to some of the other shrines then. Nor does the attendant mention that technically an entire planet owned by the Eridani Utopia terraforming megacorporation was illegally occupied by a radical cult. Rather, the unbelievers wept as Lud revealed their sins and told them forgiveness was within the reach of this garden world. It's an appealing morality tale, delivered earnestly. I would like to visit the shrine, please. The attendant nods, explaining that you must leave your guards behind because this is a place of peace and all are equal on the pilgrim's path. The request is an implied request for you for keeping up appearances. A couple of your guards, unarmed and trained for situations requiring this degree of subtlety, attend to your safety as a matter of course. You note other unusually small parties of pilgrims, plainly but clearly wealthy by their cut and carriage, led by their own shrine attendants and accompanied by unusually muscled distant cousins. Nonetheless, the crowds filing out of the transport complex on a wide highway of beaten earth and cobble are enormous. Those that cannot walk are carried. No powered transport is provided. We will walk the path. I love these images. They're so brilliant in a single image, evoking the scene. The path of the pilgrims leads up a slope, covered in trees more enormous than any you've seen before. Though small in scale compared to the celestial phenomena that is your daily bread, their living architecture forms a natural cathedral. Dispassionate knights of Lud watch as attendants shuttle you through a cordoned path in an arc through a final grove of mighty sequoia analogues atop the promontory at the terminus of the ridge. It's a temple, struts and spars intertwined with the trees. Golden sunlight filters through heavy branches, and as the breeze lifts a whispering chorus of foliage, you catch an earthy scent over the mass of humanity surrounding you. We will approach the shrine. You only have a brief moment before the high altar of living wood. Small tokens and offerings are piled high amongst low, cheap candles. Hey, we gained a skill point. And we have completed, I think, all the Luddic shrines now. And in a moment it passes. It's hot, and you're in a large, sweaty crowd full of pilgrims all wrapped up away from you, lost in their own worship. The attendants do their best to herd the masses along the main pathway. You must push through groups, calling and crying, singing and praying, and we shall return to the fleet. You enter the shaded halls of the transport complex and move towards your shuttle's landing pad. One of the shrine attendants intercepts you, and with a quick glance at a discreet data pad, swiftly tucked back into voluminous robes, invites you to follow them. "I am blessed, Captain Bogus McCroy," the attendant says, "to invite you to complete the pilgrim's path on this day." I'm going to ask him how he knows of this. "The faithful must know to keep watch for what is coming." The attendant smiles with a strange look, then almost, but not, with a strange look, and then almost, but not quite smiles. "I mean not to sound so arcane. It is merely that our church has endured hard times and may yet again." "You think hard times will come?" "I pray that they do not," the attendant says. "We prepare for if they do." It's a smaller path you're led down, not the highway of humanity for the main shrine. This is a smaller secondary shrine in the lee of a crag dominated by the immense forest. Pilgrims are offered tea and water. Oh no, we've hit the ad breaks. Oh, it's a bad time right in the middle. We may have lost a few people while we do our final Luddic path, so we're going to pause. And if we're going to finish the Luddic path here, I don't want Karma to miss out on this, because he's guided us down this route and enjoyed these bits quite a lot. So we will finish the Luddic path. What are we on? 9:10. We'll finish the Luddic path. We'll see if we can find a nearby bounty that we can go hunt to finish off our evening in Starsector before we prepare for zombie apocalypse in Death Road to Canada. I am very, very excited. I'm intrigued now, Dragon, if you're getting ads at the moment. I mean, it doesn't look like it because you've just responded. So I'm guessing no ads. I'm assuming most people don't. It's a funny one. Some people definitely do, some people don't. Some people don't get all of them. Maybe you're still under the sub protection. We've got 1 and 45. We're going to finish this in grand style with everybody here, just in case. If anyone else is not seeing ads and wants to pop something in chat to let me know, then do feel free. But otherwise, in a minute's time, we are going to continue with our view to our visits to the Luddic shrines and hopefully finish the Luddic path journey, see what it offers us. And then we've been doing this for roleplay's sake, really. I hadn't clicked in my head that maybe, just maybe, there was actually something at the end of it. So we will continue down this path, and then we'll sort of shake ourselves awake a bit. We'll see where we are in terms of being able to do a bit of a quick bounty hunt. Yes, you just never get ads on Twitch. Fair enough. That might be a... Have you got, what was it, Twitch Turbo or something on Twitch? Or are you just coming in from a region where Twitch ads are not an issue? Because I know Tin Mask always gets the ads when the ads are up. Although I also know he can't make it tonight and he's having to watch this on the VOD, so we shall see whether he actually gets round to it. "25 seconds. I'm aching to complete my journey down the Pilgrim's Path." Hey, don't complain, buddy. If it works, it works. And 3, 2, 1, you're back in the room. Right, welcome back everybody. Twitch decided it was going to throw ads at us right in the middle of the culmination of our visit down the Luddic path and the visits to the Luddic shrines. So we thought we'd pause for a minute. We've left that. Good call, Dragon, good call. We will save as soon as we are able. So we've been led down a smaller path to a smaller secondary shrine in the lee of a crag dominated by the immense forest. Pilgrims are offered tea and water and ritual washing. The air is filled with sweat, incense and the scent of pine. A thrum of odd chanting, distorted by the breeze, lifts and wanes by the whims of the air currents. You see shrine curates blessing pilgrims. Soon it's your turn. Thing is, Karma, I'm definitely not an amoral Syndrian mercenary. I'm an opportunist. We started out with a very bad fleet, and I heard the words ancient hull tech and was like, yes, let's get us a cool ship. I like cool ships, and I wanted a cool ship. And you know, I would say I reciprocated with Macario and his Syndrian wiles and his wants and his nefarious schemes, mainly because I don't care one way or the other about the diktat or who wins over the power struggle or what, as long as I get something out of it. But I'm fascinated by the interesting places in the galaxy, and we're looking at as many of those as we can, and the best way to get access to those places is to have a well-armed, interesting, technologically advanced fleet, so we took the opportunity while we could. Cool. And also, welcome on in, friendly local. Good to see you back, my friend. Right, soon it's our turn to be blessed by the pilgrims. Or blessed by the curate, sorry. The pilgrims are busy getting blessed. The curate casts scented drops and says the words, though it's almost a blur. It's strange to have come so far for this. Around you a river of pilgrims flows. They found meaning in the journey they've made between the shrines, following the path of their prophet Lud. It's almost unbelievable how much has been built on the words of one person, blessed or cursed by circumstance, bent the arc of history across the face of the domain and the collapse. Looking upon the crowds, the pointed arches, the trees beyond, what would Lud make of this? We return to our shuttle, taking a final breath of air rich with the exhalations of both the greenery and the mass of humanity. As your pilot swaps takeoff pings with traffic control, they point at an unusual set of nav instructions which are forwarded to your now retrieved datapad. You're being directed to a landing which serves as a huge monastic complex of some sort of church administrative centre. The local datasphere is not forthcoming on its details. It's difficult to say if this is a security measure or pious neglect. I think we need to follow the route. It's too intriguing for a space adventurer like me not to follow the route. At the landing pad, you're met by a solemn Luddic knight. A knight initiate stands a few paces behind, trying to match the ease and calm of their superior. Captain Bogus McCroy, the knight says, Let me speak welcome on behalf of the Church of Galactic Redemption. We extend to you an invitation from the Reverend Archcurate Jaspis to meet and share refreshment. The knight stands motioning with gauntlet to invite you to walk towards the administrative structures. I'm not declining. I'm interested in speaking to the Reverend Archcurate Jaspis. I will walk with the knight. You're led by the knight through gardens and the soaring arcades of Luddic church architecture. Half-remembered dreams of Gothic cathedrals given flight by the material science of the domain. It might be thought impertinent to mention this aspect of the construction, of course. The knight initiate follows behind, footsteps echoing between arched portals over slate tiles flecked with glittering pyrite like stars in the night. I'm going to ask if every successful pilgrim gets to meet the Archcurate. The knight looks back at you, half-cape fluttering over carefully secured weaponry, with an expression that yours is a stupid question. The tone of the reply is firmly neutral, however. I can't remember his voice now. No, Captain. The Reverend Archcurate requested a meeting with you specifically. I'm going to say nothing. Jaspis can tell me why he summoned me, not this knight. You pass through wooden doors and halls carpeted in designs of foliage and fauna, presumably of old Earth. A fawn, a whale, hawks and dragons circling in a blue sky wreathed with leaves of ivy, oak and palm. The Archcurate's office appears relatively austere at first glance, but as your eyes adjust, hand-carved wooden panelling emerges, their faces packed with small plants and figures both human and animal. The room is situated to overlook a private atrium garden. A shaft of sunlight illuminates flowers and catches the softly trickling drops of a fountain. That word was trickling drops that I stumbled over. Your Excellency, the knight calls out too loudly for the space and bows to the figure within. The Archcurate Jaspis turns towards you, closing a thick book. Come before me, Captain, she says. I would share with you a pot of tea and my hospitality. Knight Elanthus, you have my thanks, and may leave us be. A metal carafe with a long handle steams on a heating element, and a pot and 2 simple cups sit beside. I'm going to sit and have some tea. Why not? We're British. We never say no to tea. She takes the handle of the carafe of boiling water and without looking, gaze still unfocused, fills the teapot. She's quite blind, you realise. I'm going to ask her why she invited me here. I'm a busy man. I've got Death Road to Canada to play. She smiles thinly. You made pilgrimage to the holy shrines of Lud, a taxing act to which the faithful aspire. Yet you also take pain to keep distance from the church, to hold nothing holy. She picks up a teacup and taps its side idly. I have not received you here to admonish or proselytize. If a struggle bedevils your soul, or if it is deaf to the songs of creation, then that matter is for your own prayer and meditation. The office I am entrusted to has need for the service of an actor of means and ability. More quietly, her voice gone low and rough. A hammer. The Archcurate places her teacup back on the desk, exactly where it was before, then pours tea into her cup and then into yours. Don't you have the Knights of Lud for this? She smiles sardonically. You have met the knights. You know full well that in all matters they will break rather than bend, and name such waste sacrifice. I should not speak so broadly, however. There is one who is sent to me to serve for his noviceship. He is the one I want you to find. So you want me to be your hammer? It's hammer time. No, my hammer is, she nods in your direction, a humbler being by far than you. But he requires aid in his quest, and for that you might well serve. She sips some tea. Do you understand that I speak not entirely of war and wrath? A hammer may strike subtly, even quietly if aimed with skill, wisdom, and piety. I mean, what do you want? What is your goal? The faith has many enemies, both within and without the church, she says slowly. Some know what evil they do, others do not. They must be set right. I would labour to do good, as Lud taught us, and by all means available, as Lud also taught us. In doing good, I serve this office, and to greater purpose I serve the vision Lud handed down to us, as Lud also taught us. We can add that to anything. The Archcurate carefully puts her hands together, not unlike a position of prayer. Captain, allow me to put the matter to you directly. Please do. I'm enjoying the tea, but, come on, I've got stuff to do, places to be. My agent is a novice of the Knights of Lud. He was assigned to my office in order to achieve his knighthood. He infiltrated a cell of heretical militants affiliated with the ill-named Luddic Path. I have not heard from him in some time. Her voice, unusually somewhere between confident and sardonic, almost breaks at these last few words. He is important to you. She proceeds, pointedly ignoring your statement. If you accept this task from my office, my assistant will provide you with identity files to aid you in finding my agent. You will also be given a modest retainer to fund your efforts, and more, if and when you find him. You need not answer now. Pray on the matter, or ponder, if that is how you would name it. She turns back to the book she had open when you entered. May Providence favour you with a blessed path. I pray it returns to me with an answer in the affirmative. I'm just going to say I'll think about it for now. She hrums in acknowledgement, attention focused elsewhere now, opening her book with one hand and placing the other upon its face. Da-da! You leave Archcurate Jaspers to her book. A soft-spoken attendant in robes makes an incongruous datapad appear and coordinates transfer of the Archcurate's comms ID, at least for her office, then passes you off to the blank-faced Knight Ailanthus to escort you to your waiting shuttle. Your return to orbit is uneventful, so we've got the comms ID for Sophronia Jaspis. So potentially we can do some work with her as well to help find this missing Luddic knight of hers who has been taken by the Pathers. I can definitely say from a roleplay point of view I am anti-Path. I'm quite fond of the Luddic Church. The shrines are lovely, and they've got some highfalutin ideas. I'm not sure I believe it, but I buy into the joy of the simple life. But don't mess with Pathers. We'll mess with them with an executor if we need to. We're on 9:25, so for the first time ever we are going to switch games midstream. This is bound to be seamless. We'll be coming back to Starsector. We may split the stream on Friday to do something plus Starsector, because we haven't done enough Starsector this week, and a big chunk of it has been fitting the Executor. Dragon Guy redeemed Save the Game, which is a very important thing to do. So we have saved the game. I am now going to see if this will work relatively seamlessly. So let's just throw ourselves to the intermission screen. We'll exit and quit, and then this should go completely black, and we should be able to fire up DRTC. Now I suspect initially this is going to be really loud because I haven't configured the audio, so we may need to immediately turn it down. Let's just see how it goes. You'll definitely be able to hear this before you can see it, I think. Oh, yes you will. Okay, right. You can tell me how the audio is coming through as we get on. Let's just see if we can get the game capture to work. Why is that so tiny? That's not on. Right, well we can fix that. Go on, meet the thing. Okay. This is already completely wild. Right. Death Road to Canada. Stretched out massively. Let me know how the audio levels are for you, whether there's any visual issues, because I've sort of got the stream on this side, but we're just going to start this and see what it's all about. All I know is zombies. Right, if sounds are okay, that's great. I've turned down my audio a little bit because it's pretty beefy in my headset, but that's fine. So let's start. Let's see what this is all about. So, up, down, left, right to move. Oh, okay, yeah, so right, we're on arrow keys, got that. Button 0 to open or use. Okay. Let's immediately have a look at what that is. So player 1 controls. Right, Z is use, X is attack, C is swap, space pauses the game, tab is next. Right, so I've got my buttons. We'll get used to this. This is genuine first playthrough. The only other thing we need to do is we need to edit our stream info. See, I don't normally have to do this midstream. Boom! Right, okay. We're sorted. We've got ourselves Death Road to Canada. So, we can interact with stuff with... Right, you can't leave from this location. This door leads to the garbage room, which is nearly full. Whoever designed this zombie bunker didn't put a lot of thought into how long it would last. You will have to find another way out, or if you'd like, you can skip the tutorial. I'd like to go back to the tutorial, please. Right. At least we've got a tutorial. Right, we can't talk to this lady behind us. We can push the beds around, that's kind of cool. Right, let's open this door. Pick up weapons. Right, let's get a baseball bat. Right, we've got a baseball bat. We can swap weapons. That's attack, and that's swap weapons. We've got a punch, punch, baseball bat. Right, let's grab a wrench. And a rebar. I have no idea what's going to be better in this situation, but I like the idea of a baseball bat. Alright, oh I see, right. Straight in here. So this, right, we're in a bathroom. Ah, there's something on that shelf. Oh, we found medicine. Right, nothing shiny in the sink, and somebody's left something terrible in the toilet. There's... Exactly. That's what we need, is a mod. Where on earth would I find a mod though, Dragon? Can we smack the chairs? Hey, we break the chairs, we get a piece of wood out of it. This game has thought of everything. Right, before we go charging through here, I'd like to know who's in this room up here. Oh, we found somebody. Let's explore this shelf. Got ourselves some shotgun shells. And a burger. Shanty sees Eason, who is a real dink. Zombies have broken into my home. This is probably your fault. It certainly isn't mine. When the group found this zombie bunker, Eason called dibs on this big bedroom before anyone else. So I presume I'm Shanty. I'm going to call Eason a dink. Shanty calls Eason a dink. Eason was shocked. It was fun to finally tell him what a dink he was. My morale increases a bit, I think, from terrible to moderately miserable, and Moore's morale increases to delighted. Okay, so morale may be an issue at some point. This is interesting. Oh, was that's not something we can pick up. We're just smacking stuff. I'm tempted to hit Eason with a baseball bat, but you know, he's a survivor. That seems mean. Oh, we can pick up and throw chairs. Choose your pals wisely. Right, got ourselves some more food. That looks like a corpse of some description. More burgers. Oh, we've picked up the corpse. Shanty greets Donette. I think we will have to leave this safe house. At least we got to rest for a while. We should try heading to Canada. Would you like me to travel with you? More people means more hands to loot and fight with. It also means more people to get in the way, eat up the food, and argue. I'm going to ask Donette to join us for now. I'm assuming that we can change our mind later on, and or she might get killed by zombies anyway. Oh god, okay, so morale's a big deal. Right. So we have accepted Donette to join the team. Onward to Canada. So we definitely don't want Eason because he's a dink, but we might want her. Right, that's some food. Nothing in there. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. That doesn't help. Right. We're going to go and throw this corpse at somebody. Hey! Oh! Okay, the zombies are still getting up. Try to pace yourself. Right, so we've attacked a couple of zombies and it made a real mess. I see. Right. So if we hit space, we pause. We've got no loot in the car. Shanty has 6 food, 1 med, 3 ammo. Nor and Donette have nothing. Combat is either smashing or shooting. Tactic is currently defend, running or fighting. Okay. So we've got health, we've got... Can I select these? Oh, I see, I can choose who I'm playing at the moment. So I could be Nor, I could be Donette, but I'm happy with Shanty. Shanty's fine. How do we go up here? Do we go to swap meet? These are the items we've got. So I could We could definitely give the wood to Danette, because Danette's not got any weapons. We'll give Danette the rebar as well. Then everyone's got a couple of weapons. Nor has a femur and a bit of wood. We'll swap the... I don't know what does what or how good anything is. Everyone's got a couple of weapons now anyway, so that's good. Then in terms of status, Shanty's holding wrench, baseball bat. Shanty believes in Santa. We'll see if that becomes significant later. Her morale is bad. We don't know about any of her other things, presumably because we're still in the tutorial. Nor... she plans to train an army of anti-zombie dogs, and she's got great morale. Danette is also quite miserable and really hates canned food. Okay. So, we're going to come back from the pause menu in a minute and go through some more of the chaos that is Death Road to Canada. I am going to grab a quick drink. I will be right back. Thank you for all of those of you who have stuck with me to Death Road to Canada. This is a significant shift from our earlier Starsector, but it was very much promised. We owe Dragon Guy a play of this, so I am looking forward to seeing whether we can cheer up our miserable people and fight ourselves some zombies and begin our journey to Canada. And we will find out in just 2 minutes' time. Catch you guys in a sec. Okay. Let's experience the craziness. Right, so that's my attack button, isn't it? That one, yeah. Okay, so if we walk on this stuff, it's all just gross. Ooh, lots of things to look at in here. Different types of bullets. So we've got a number of different types of bullets. More med stuff. Junk. And shotgun shells. No secret doors. There doesn't appear to be any friendly fire in this. Like, I don't want to be hitting my friends and reducing their morale. Uh-oh, a lot of zombies. Running often beats fighting. Okay. Oh, I'm sweating. Uh-oh. Ah. Okay, I didn't realise fatigue was a thing. Ah. Right. We've defeated those, but we don't want to fight the ones up top. We probably could have just run through that whole room. However, here... What? Oh, you can swap leaders. Ah! I'm trying to read and fight at the same time. Oh. S equals 45p. S equals 50p. I don't know what that means. Ladder leads to outside. Good luck out there. Okay, so this is presumably the end of the tutorial. Oh right, 6:05 p.m. Presumably. Yes. Okay, that makes more sense. You found the ladder out of here. This will end the story for Shanty, but your story is about to begin. You will make your way to Canada, looting all the supplies you can on the way. You'll need to build up your skills and your team to survive. Yeah, okay. Bye, Shanty. So if we start now... New game, please. So we can do a new game. We can do custom characters. So presumably we can make some custom characters. Right. Well. How many characters can we make here? Can we make like a full roster of characters and then we meet them throughout the game? Or like how many... Have we got a limited roster of custom characters, or can we make custom characters all day long and then add them in as we find them in the world? So we'll start with me. I'm going to be... I quite like the 5 o'clock shadow face, that sort of works for me. Hair, that's cool. It's purple. Oh, trucker hats. Bandana. Beanie hat. Cowboy hat, that's amazing. Oh my god. South Park hats. My god, the hat selection is just astonishing. How many are there? I want to go back to hat 0, there we go. You can start with one buddy and you meet others in the game. So, if I make like 10 custom characters, are the people I meet in the game drawn from my custom character list then? Oh yeah, look at that, a big purple beard on him. Right, like that. We'll make him quite pale, seems about right. I did used to have purple hair, but I'm not going to have purple hair in this. I haven't had purple hair since I was in my 20s. Hey, he's pretty cool, but no. Actually... That's an eye patch, that's amazing. I sort of think with that hair and that beard, Goose really wants no shades. Oh wow, yeah, randomise. Okay. So if we're starting with 1 plus a buddy, we'll start with me. Right, my perk. So if I select it, here we go, it'll tell me.
So car is life, not necessarily a competent mechanic. So I start with a wrench, I gain 1 point in mechanical and 1 point in fitness. And at the next level I will gain 2 points in mechanical. I've got athlete. Past skills translate into zombie survival. So I start with a random sports weapon, a point in fitness and a point in strength, and I'll get 2 points in fitness at the next level. Person has always been a real fighter. You start with a hatchet, a point in strength and a point in shooting. Surgeon, good intuition of anatomy and a real steady hand. Start with a scalpel, get a point in medical and a point in shooting. Gungeoneer, good with anything mechanical. Guns are mechanical. Start with a crowbar, 1 point in shooting, 1 point in mechanical. My god, there's so many of these traits. Ah, and then presumably in a sort of roguelike-y way, we unlock some of these perks later on in the runs. And these are like 1-star perks. Friend of the dog. This person loves dogs and tends to run into them. Angry dogs may become friendly. 30% chance for recruits to be a dog. I like that as a genuine dog lover, but I also don't want dogs in a post-zombie apocalypse world because bad things can happen. What does a car nut get? Being a car enthusiast is practically a superpower now. You start with a nicer car and you get 1 point in mechanical. Yes, Goose is definitely a car nut because I am somewhat of a car nut. And as a trait, I could be resilient type, which is the muscle, not a long-term planner. Bad wits rolls, takes 1 more hit than normal. No, that's not me. I'm more... what's civilised? Retains old values before the world went crazy. We're going to explore all of these over time, but for now I just want a team that we can start with. So super high loyalty and personality stats, 1 point to medical and mechanical skills, and I'm already quite good with mechanic, but a permanent and significant morale penalty, no. From perception of others, a good attitude and pure charisma. There's something about this person that opens doors. Charms way into free stuff or out of bad situations. Can't charm way out of everything. Yes, we're taking it. Goose is charming. He's trying to lead his crew of people here. We're going to save Goose here. Oh, I see. Yeah, we can do quite a few. Deleting. Right, delete. Right, so we've got Goose. So if we go back, can we make another one? Custom characters. So that's Goose. So if I save them in this slot now, then presumably... I'm confused. I've got a lot of pages for custom characters, which is great, but if I click here it just saves them all in the... it's just resaving that character. So presumably that's saved, so I could now make another character, click save and click it in a different one. Right, here we go. So, are we going with Drakey Dragon? Hey, I had to check, my friend, I had to check. And then, do you want me to randomise a little bit, or have you got some ideas of numbers you like for some of these? I can show you whatever you like. Anyone else in chat who is following and would like to create a character now is welcome to do so. We're only going to run with a couple to start with, I think, and then we're going to start our adventure. Cool. Also, you can choose your perk and trait. We're just going to click each of these randomised once and make sure it doesn't look too dorkish. That's pretty cool. Paranoid Surgeon. Where's Paranoid? Combination of high perception, extreme pessimism. Can be a real grumps, always on the lookout for danger, may identify traits in new recruits. Yes, please. And they're going to be a surgeon. Cool. So we've got a paranoid surgeon called Drakey, and we're going to save him here. Then we're going to go back. Right, new game. So I would like to load Goose. And I want my buddy to be Drakey. So we've got Goose and Drakey taking on the world. And our game mode will start with Death Road normal mode. I like the fact, oh yeah, familiar characters, short trip to heck, rare character. This is all amazing. 4 jerks mode, that sounds amazing too. Right, so we'll go with Death Road normal, with me as the leader. Oh god, right, we've got our car. Goose hears rumours that Canada is a safe place free of the threat of zombies. With nothing to gain from waiting around Florida, he decides to brave the death road and travel north. So we are on the death road to Canada. Many bandits can be bought off with food. Some bandits can be beaten by a specific personality type. Maybe I can charm some bandits. Let's have another quick look at it. Let's have a look at another random hint. Strength lets you pick up and throw heavier furniture. Thrown furniture is the best weapon. Good. One more hint and then we'll play. Make sure you create some custom characters. Yeah, we've already done that. They can show up at random during the game. I'm already liking this a lot more than I thought I would when I played the first 2 seconds of the tutorial to see if it worked on stream. Run whenever you can. Fight when you're forced to. Zombies do not drop zombie loot. Yeah, so there's no point killing zombies other than if it's essential for survival. Okay. Let's hit the road. To start the journey, the group decides to grab some supplies from a nearby location. In order to survive the death road, you'll need to hoard as many supplies as you can. You'll also need to find ways to train and grow your team. So there's a house on the road, there's a quiet hotel or a quiet factory. And I'm assuming it's random what's in these, but the graphical interface for each is different. Let's have, I think a quiet hotel is more likely to have supplies. You know, they could have fridges and stuff. Let's try the quiet hotel. The group goes through an empty town with no supplies to be found and little zombie activity. One small hotel seems to have more undead roaming through it than the rest. Your zombie forecast is swarm size sparse, yes. Aggression sluggish, yes. Current time late afternoon. Right, we'll explore the hotel then. Oh my god, and then we can give ourselves equipment. So we've got a couple of flashlights. It's late afternoon, so we might need them. I've got a walking stick, it looks like. So if I choose that, I can give myself a flashlight. And let's give... Drakey's got his scalpel, but we'll give Drakey a flashlight as well. Oh, we're in. Ah! Right, let's see if we can find some supplies. Ah! This takes some getting used to. Right, thrown weapons are the best weapons. Oh, I managed to throw it a slight distance. Let's see what we've got. Right, some supplies there. Some supplies there. Oh. Can I open... Oh, I see. You smash the bin and you get the supplies out. Nice. Okay. This is cool so far. This music is suitably comedic. I pressed the wrong button and I smashed the chair. I didn't mean to do that. Hey, zombos. Ooh, I don't want to tire myself out too much because I did that earlier. Yep, I'm already... Ooh, that zombie got quite angry for a second. I appear to be quite tired. Oh, what's in the toilet? Oh, you found fuel in the toilet, naturally. Right, so some places are better, some hold weapons, some with more random stuff. Right, we can just ignore... Ooh, we can ignore those guys. We can't ignore the one that's right in front of me. Ooh, pack of ammo. Okay, doesn't appear to be anything in this bathroom. Right. Oh! Oh, a pistol! Did Drakey pick up the pistol? I think he did. Right, so it's worth moving the furniture then, just in case. I can't pick up that, can I? It's too heavy. Okay. Oh, I forgot about them. Oh no! I broke my weapon! Ah! Swap! Can I hit people with a flashlight? Oh, I can. I don't want to break the flashlight though. That's super useful. And presumably it runs out of batteries. So I assume that I can select the swap meet and I can say to Drakey, give me the pistol. Oh, Stealthy Spectre, welcome on in and thank you for saying hello. Yeah, cool. I've been trying to do that, but I've probably missed a degree of shiny things. But yeah, welcome on in. I take it you are familiar with this game. This is my very ever first run of it, as will become quite obvious very soon. Oh, I see. As you aim at people, does that... Right, ranged weaponry is very different. I need to be careful I'm pressing the right buttons here as well so that I don't waste ammo. Headshot! Right, got some medicine. Ah, I know what I need to do here. If we throw the chair a few times, will the chair break? Yes, it will. Excellent. And then I can get a piece of wood. And now we've got a melee weapon. And we don't have to be worried about using all our bullets. Oh, did I see something sparkly there? No, maybe just... I think that's part of like the film grain effect. Oh, it's getting darker in here. Ah, we broke the wood already. I think we're going to very quickly run out of bullets if we do that. We don't want to be doing that very much. There's a few more, but they may be for a different weapon. Right, got some gas or something in there. Doesn't look like there's anything up there, so we'll not bother fighting these two, unless I'm wrong. Did I see glinting? It's hard to see what's sparkly and what is the sort of flash of the film grain. I'll get used to that, I think. But welcome on in, Stealthy. It is great to have you on board, my friend. I can't resist blasting zombies. I should be absolutely conserving my ammo, and I'm not, because it's too much fun. Ah, those are the types of bullets I've been using. Oh, that looks like a Molotov. It is. Oh my god, how stupidly cool is this game? Oh, this is ridiculous. Right, so alcohol in the toilet. I gotcha. Ah! We don't tend to hide alcohol in our toilets. If we have alcohol, we drink it. We see no shame in our alcoholism. All I'm trying to do here is distract the horde so we can get... Ah! Presumably that is the exit that we have to get to. To get out alive? We've got horde. Ah! Out of ammo. Okay. I don't want to be punching these dudes. I also don't want to break my flashlight. Ah, this is starting to feel bad. Oh man, the run is... I don't want the run to end at this point. Oh, sorry, Drakey. Smacked you in the face. Ah, I thought we might have some furniture up here we could pick up. Ah. Okay, this is going badly wrong. Right, we've distracted the horde. It's now very dark in here. Oh, we've come down one room too low. Give me the bin. Yeah, eat bin. Oh no, I'm trying to open the door. And I can't. Right, there we go. Let's pick up the bin. Do you want to leave this location? Yes, please. It's all getting a little bit too hot. So we found 2 lots of gas. See, totally was gas in the toilet. But yes, alcohol-fueled vehicles. Total food, 8 to 12. So we've gained 4 food, we've gained 2 gas, we've gained 2 medicines, we've gained a load of rifle ammo, we've gained no pistol ammo because I used all of it just to try and survive. And we killed 47 zombies, which I think is more zombies than we needed to spend time killing. Drakey is badly battered. The group goes against their judgment and camps in a city apartment because there's no zombies around. When they wake up, the building is on fire. Run out now, or Drakey is cool about fire safety. So the Drakey option here, is that like a character-specific skill thing where Drakey can do something about it, or is that just a random... We're fine. Ah, cool. In which case, Drakey's cool about fire safety. Drakey always has a fire safety plan prepared. It doesn't matter where he is, Drakey constantly thinks up new fire safety plans. All supplies were saved, no one was injured, and his morale goes up. Excellent. The group eats a decent meal, so we've eaten all the food that we found in that hotel. Drakey's morale is up, food is down, we've lost a whole load of gas. Being prepared is one of the most important parts of survival. The group spots an infested city from the road. Scouting it from afar, the group has to decide whether to fight under the noon sun for supplies. So, mild swarm size with calm aggression at noon. And from the distance we see something of interest. So we could either go to the convenience mart or the office building. I definitely like the idea of the convenience mart for some food, but the office building may have something else we can use as weapons, and we are very low on weaponry right now. So yeah, let's go to the office building. Drakey, I don't think at this point, in mid of the noon, you're going to need a flashlight. Goose, we're going to find you a weapon. I've definitely decided. This may be the riskiest thing I've done, but we're good. We're good. Yay! Let's boogie! Off you go, zombos. Right, let's see what treasures we can find down here. Nothing. Yeah, I don't see shinies. Okay. Excellent. Let's chuck chairs at people. May have just thrown a chair at Drakey there by accident. Oh my god, look, golf clubs. Turns out, corporate folks, I was right, have weapons galore. We'll have another golf club. We'll take the supplies, we'll take the meds. Oh, didn't mean to do that actually. Is there friendly fire in this? Like, can I accidentally hurt Drakey by throwing a chair? I totally understand that, Dragon, and I really appreciate it. If there's stuff you want to tell me, do feel free, because whilst I am enjoying figuring this stuff out for myself... Oops, that's not the button I was looking for. I'm also going to struggle a little bit to get through here alive without assistance. And we're, depending on how far we go, if we are getting into the time zone where a run end is definitely a stream end, and we don't want that, so let's just keep on rolling. Right, grab these supplies. This feels like a zombie game. It's... the weird cutesy graphics and stuff belie a terrifying title where you've got to try and achieve stuff very, very quickly and not get swamped by zombies and not run out of supplies or break all your weapons. It's great. I really like it. Oh, there goes another golf club. I'm also struggling to remember where I have been. Yeah, we've been in here. Oh yeah, we went in here. Ah, okay. I did sort of assume the Molotov earlier could probably do it. Right, I think we're going to get swarmed here if we're not careful, so... There's the exit. Now, presumably, we want to jump into our car. Can we go into other buildings while we're here, though? Yes, we can. Excellent. So we're not just limited to our first choice, which is nice. Okay, okay. Da 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 da. Can we can't go through these doors, they're covered by rubble. Okay. And that one's got rubble in, hasn't it? Yeah. And we went through here, so... Ah! Right, I think... Oh! Was that like a big swarm warning? Oh, okay. We're in the ads. Is there anything this way? No, okay. Oh, this is crazy. So we got rid of 36 zombies, so fewer zombies than in the first mission. We focused on getting in and out. We've got 9 pistol ammo, 2 medical, 1 gas, and 6 total food. Excellent. However... Oh! Drakey's dead. Or didn't make it back alive. Oh! That's the sound of an ally dying. Okay. Apologies for that, Dragon. You did not last long. Right. So Drakey's already dead. We're only 14 days until Canada. Oh man, this is easy. We'll get this first run done tonight. Okay. Goose is relatively happy, despite the fact Drakey died. Ooh, Goose finds a used car lot and seems untouched by time, or at least not touched by looters. He finds a supply of gasoline and a few working cars. Plus 56 gas. Excellent. We could swap to an SUV, which is presumably much more fuel thirsty. We could swap to a big van. We could keep our car and drive away. Our car's relatively good because, yeah, only 14 days. We've done like 24 hours here, I think. We're fine. I'm sort of tempted to swap into the SUV because it's, you know, it's beefy and it lets us do stuff, but it's going to absolutely guzzle gas. The big van might do better. Presumably we can fit more allies in an SUV. But we have got quite a good car because I started as a car nut. Let's see what happens. We're going to swap to an SUV. Crappy gas mileage and are slow. They're very durable and they break down slowly. Just don't bother taking it off jumps. Okay. So we found a load of gas there, but look how quickly we're losing gas. Goose is sitting around a campfire resting before a brutal day tomorrow and eats a decent meal. So we're eating less food. I could tell scary stories to myself or just go to sleep. I'm just going to go to sleep. I don't want to hear my own scary stories. Wow, this thing really does guzzle gas. Goose finds an old game bonus. It's a handheld video game system that survived this long because it's built like a brick. There are a few games with it, all known for their extremely frustrating difficulty. So we could leave Game Bonus behind, or we could take Game Bonus. That was genius. Dr. Drobnus Deluxe, Drobnus Squadron, or Drobnus Kart. I mean, Drobnus Kart's got to be the one. It's a racing game starring the ever-popular character Drobnus and all his pals. Even if you're in first place, you can get hit by a homing toilet and end up in last place. Goose's mechanical skill increases. The game is way too difficult. Goose throws the game bonus hard, destroying it. My morale has gone down, but my mechanical skill has increased. Amazing. I hate homing toilets. Right, I need to find a way to boost my morale. If you close your eyes, this cat food almost tastes like tuna. Outside of Canada, most of society and civilization has been destroyed. You can still find people engaging in trade, with preserved food being the new currency. You have 12 food left, and I run into a trading camp. We are going to visit the trader camp and just see what we can get. Hey dudes! You meet a woman who is covered in hammers. They hang from several tool belts and bandoliers. Can I tell you a secret? I love blunt weapons. I'll sell you my spares. You have 12 food. I can buy a claw hammer for 2, sledgehammer for 8, ball peen hammer for 3. Let's see who else has got stuff for sale before we start thinking about our food. A man selling a bunch of firearms. He's holding a minigun that has a scope, a laser sight and a flashlight attached to it. However, his selection seems like pretty common stuff. So we could buy a cowboy rifle for 5 food. That's a lot of my remaining food, but I've got... Excuse me. I've got a chunk of rifle ammo, and that might be quite cool. I've also got some shotgun ammo, so that's quite good. Ooh, if you have 0 food, they'll pity you and give you things for free. Only if you enter with 0 food. Right, that's really worth knowing. Thank you, my friend. And presumably I can't, like, steal stuff off their supply shelves. A man claiming to be a travelling medical salesman. He's carrying 2 suitcases of medical supplies, so I can trade. He offers 1 medical item for each item of food, so I can basically buy 1 or 2 for 5 or 10. Okay. We got this guy up here. Napoleon is tired of being stuck in his camp. He will join you for a small fee of 5 food. He claims to be experienced in medical matters. He talks about his long career in healthcare. That's tempting, but we're then going to go down to only 7 food, and our food consumption is going to be 4, so we're going to definitely have to find food quite quickly. We'll leave Napoleon for now, but I might change my mind. He immediately drew a weapon out, which freaked me. Yeah, those zombies are definitely a pain. Goose sees a man standing near an SUV. Do you have any spare gas? I'm running out. He offers to give you 2 cans of food for every 25 units of gas. We are using so much gas in this SUV though. No thank you, not right now. Okay, this is pretty cool. Canada. What is this Canada you'll speak of? Right, so for 5 food we could get Napoleon as an ally, which could be very useful, or we could buy some stuff. So right now, Goose has got a golf club and a pistol with absolutely no ammo for it. We have 7 rifle ammo, 3 shotgun ammo. Oh no, we've got 9 ammo for the pistol. But that's in the car. Okay. Oh, I've locked that now. I see. So I can lock it in place. That's kind of cool. Okay. Oh, choices. Do I have the willpower to make it to Canada? God no. No, more importantly, I definitely don't have the skill. Can I go in the back of my... Ah, yes I can. Ah, there we go. That's how we reload the pistol. Cool. I did wonder. Ah, yeah, because that's the trunk of the car. Right. Okay, so I think we either take on Napoleon, so we've got a bit of company, and I think we're going to do that. I think Goose is going to go crazy without a friend. So I'm going to recruit Napoleon for 5 food. And then we're going to save the food we've got and head to Canada. Is the car taking damage because it won't start? Do I need to get out and check something in case? Oh, I see. That's the countdown for tick over. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, and you've got to hold it to drive away. Right, gotcha. Explosives are great until you blow yourself up. True dat. Car's driving down the highway and it approaches a figure in the rain. Goose slows down to see who it is. It's a clown! It holds out a little clown horn and honks. The sound is so distorted. Let the clown in the car floor it. So the clown... A is a terrifying road clown. And presumably behind the mask we don't actually know if it's a zombie, but it did hold out a little clown horn. It's also going to take more food. But I want to let the clown in the car and see what happens. Why did you do that? Why? Clown joins the team. Onward to Canada. So we're now going to starve really quickly. Clown whistles carnival song. The group is about to explore a small house when they notice that a horde is creeping nearby. The group will have to hold their ground for a bit before they can escape. Siege alert. Right, so there's no escape and we've got a horde. We have to last an hour. This may be the end of the run. What's Clown got? Clown's got nothing. Let's give Clown a torch. Napoleon, you can be wielding your knife. Ah, I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm out of breath. Help me, clown! We need to be finding stuff to throw at these guys. Eat tennis racket! The siege is over, you can now try and escape. Hooray! Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh no, Clown may have died. Goose may have died. So, when it says we can now escape, it means we are now able to try and escape. We found some pistol ammo, but I think we lost our pistol. Napoleon is the only one who made it out alive. Napoleon feels inspired after managing to survive the situation. He feels like he's getting the hang of this. Choose a reward. He can gain morale and a random skill. He can gain medical... I think morale and a random skill. Morale is important, especially for somebody whose friends have all just died. Every day is a great teacher as long as you don't get eaten. Napoleon's morale increases. His strength increases. Zombo point earned. You can use ZP to unlock traits, perks and more from the title screen. Oh, I see. So that's like a permanent unlock point. Brilliant. So this whole run has not been in vain, even if we die very soon. Napoleon finds an abandoned campground with a fire pit. He even finds an old, somewhat extra large pack of marshmallows. Oh, we're going to eat the marshmallows. He eats a huge bag of marshmallows instead of eating dinner. There's even some left over, which gives us +2 food. Napoleon meets a woman limping around with a crutch. One of her legs was wounded in a recent fall as she was getting away from zombies. Well, Napoleon has medical skills, so he's going to help her leg. He tries to treat the woman's busted leg. He tries to help over the course of the day, but doesn't manage to do much. Still, practice makes perfect. So, Napoleon's medical revealed... smiley face. Napoleon's medical increases, even better. Napoleon's morale decreases. Napoleon's loyalty is revealed. I see. So you don't know any of their stats other than morale at the start, and you find them out as you play. Napoleon eats a decent meal. So we've lost a medical supply and helped the lady, and we've lost some food from eating. We are nearly out of gas. The weather is grey and dingy, and it's really getting Napoleon down. He has no one to complain about the weather to. But his attitude is revealed. He keeps up a positive attitude. Excellent. We like his attitude. That's good. But we're still going to run out of gas very soon, and the SUV appears to be smoking. While driving on the death road, Napoleon decides to make a stop for supplies. Quiet farm, burning house, drive past. Now, burning house looks like it'll be more difficult because it's in red and, you know, sounds like a bad place. I think we're going to go quiet farm because Napoleon is on his own. Looks like it was abandoned in a hurry a long time ago. There should be some field tools left behind. So, mild swarm size with calm aggression in the afternoon. Take that, zombos. Right, oh, let's be as quick as we can. The pitchfork's pretty good. We're getting quite tired in here, but I've got 2 pitchforks, so I can afford to... Uh-oh, I accidentally pitchforked a gas canister. Didn't even see that there. Right, well that'd probably be a useful thing to have for the future. Like right now. Oh, a scythe. Oof, gosh. That's quite effective. Right, we'll swap for the scythe, because that just feels... Whoop! Oh, I thought I was facing downwards. Let that do what it's going to do in there. I don't know if it persists after I leave, but we'll find out. Oh, excellent. We found loads of pistol shells. We don't have a pistol, but... Oh, a nail board. That's just wall, isn't it? It's not trapdoor. Well, we're good for weapons at the moment. Aha! Supplies! Sweet supplies! We found ourselves... Oh, junk in that one. More bullets in here. This is great! Lowish strength and fit ties you very fast. Ah, yeah, right. So your fitness and your strength affect how quickly you get tired using a weapon. Right. Karma, you make a very valid point. The burning house must be burning for a reason. Oh, is that a sledgehammer? Oh, it's a ball-peen hammer. I'll swap for my rusty machete. Alright, found some more medical supplies. I'm very happy about that. And we have found a decent amount of fuel here. Not fuel, sorry, food. Nothing in here. Right. Ah. Okay, the scythe's pretty brutal. Hey, look at that. Is there more fuel we can get from that if we spend a bit more time? Yes, probably is. Ah, no! Yep, it's definitely tiring me. Oh, perfect. Right, we have properly drained the tractor. Off you go. Alright, we can't go up there. Ah. I'm presuming we can't go back to the burning house. I think we made our choice. We did at least get a good chunk of fuel from here, which is good. And we picked up some weapons. I think we can be pretty happy with that. So we got 6 food, we got 43 gas, we got a medical supply, 61 total pistol ammo out of that, and some shotgun ammo. Very nice. Now we just need to actually find a pistol. Exhausted after an extra long drive, Napoleon scouts out a camping spot and falls asleep immediately, eating a decent meal. 11 driving days till Canada! We've done, like, nearly a third of the driving to Canada. While driving on the death road, Napoleon decides to make a stop for supplies. We've got a graveyard with a car, hardware store, or pass them by. We've just picked up some weapons in the farm. I think the graveyard with the car, because I'm interested to know whether we can either get fuel... right. Rain and night makes them more aggressive. And loud weapons. Yeah, so it sort of ramps up their aggression. It's another one of these games that looks very simple, but actually is much more complex underneath. Your grammar is fine, my friend. We're going to look at the graveyard with the car, because either we can get fuel from it, or we can take the car, because the SUV is quite knackered, and it's slow, and it's quite thirsty. We drive near a graveyard. Out front there's a car parked in good condition. Hopefully there's not a lot of zombies in this zombie-infested burial ground. Right, we've got thick swarms. They are irritated aggression, and it's nightfall. But I can't now choose to not explore the graveyard, so we're about to find out what bad zombies look like almost immediately. Car looks like it's in really good condition, but where are the keys? Oh crud, right, we need to find the keys. Ah! Press the right buttons. Right, house looks like a likely place. Ooh! Set of keys, including some car keys. Excellent. Now I think we're going to have a difficult enough time getting through here as it is. Right, we're actually taking some health damage there. Ah. Get in the car! Bye-bye! However, did we lose all of our fuel that was in the other car because we left it in the other car? Napoleon discovers something incredible while exploring a house, an actual working toilet. Everyone's been doing their business in the woods. Oh, that's okay, it transfers. I just don't have any fuel left, that's fine. The toilet has a futuristic control panel full of buttons. Napoleon feels compelled to press one and choose the button labelled with a picture of jets of water, flapping wings, musical notes, or a picture of a butt. Well, jets of water will be interesting. Musical notes might be soothing to him. Flapping wings just seems disturbing, and I kind of want to know what that could be. I'm going to go with flapping wings. That just seems bizarre. The toilet's lid opens and closes rapidly with a big whoomph sound as the lid flings out gusts of air. The lid opens and closes about 30 times in a row, then stops. Napoleon is confused by the purpose of this function. The future toilet emits a whirring noise and stops working. Hooray! A random encounter with a future toilet. Napoleon's driving down a long stretch of road. No threats on the horizon, but not much else of interest either. You have 11 food left. Napoleon unexpectedly finds someone he can trade with. Yes, trader camp. Oh, a luck fox. Where's that going? Napoleon finds a dog surrounded by a bunch of ammo. The dog speaks. Welcome to Ammo Emporium. Everything must go. It offers 5 bullets, 4 rifle ammo, and 3 shotgun shells per food item you have. You have 11 left. No thanks for now. Let's just keep looking at what people have got. It's an old but fit man in matching grey sweatpants and sweatshirt. He screams something about building mass and bulk, and with an intense strength routine. He flails towards some heavy objects lying around. We could give 6 food for training, that's kind of cool. So we could get him to bulk us up. No pain, no gain! Oh, we can go in the house here. Hello, you. Oh, that fridge has got something in it. Take medical supplies. More games need to tell you not to walk into random people's houses and steal stuff. Like, you can just get away with it in too many otherwise perfectly nice games. No worries, Karma. We're going to be winding down very soon. Great to see you, mate. Thank you for joining us, as always. It has been brilliant to have you along, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Napoleon finds a twitchy man selling homemade bombs. He's wearing a bulky coat with lumps bulging out from underneath it. I like that idea a lot, but we're not going to buy homemade bombs just yet. So we've got ammo dog, homemade bombs, training guy. We've not got a lot of food. Is that... That's the same house that the angry woman was in. Okay. Napoleon camps out in a big field and eats a decent meal. 10 driving days until Canada. It's just smooth sailing from now on. See, Napoleon's called it, we're fine. Oh, hit the pipe bomb box. Oh my god. That, I assumed that would end my run by blowing me up. Maybe it does. The car has completely run out of gas and coasts to a stop. Car abandoned. So we're now out of car and we are death walking to Canada. Napoleon spots an old boot on the road. Doesn't look like it's anyone's size, but hey, it's free. This is surely a symbol of good luck. Yeah, let's get the boot. Napoleon's walking along the road when he's suddenly mauled by a feral cat. Feral cats coat the United States after the zombocalypse. You never see them, but they're always watching, waiting for any weakness. Napoleon is hurt, and his morale decreases. His morale is terrible now as well. After hours of hiking, Napoleon finds a car sitting alongside a country road. It's in great shape, but the keys are missing. A cabin is visible in the north. Well, we've got no choice but to go searching for the keys. We've got a throwing boot. I think we'll take the throwing boot in place of our ball-peen hammer. My god, we're pretty badly knackered. Can we use... Can we can't choose to use medical supplies on ourselves. We just do that narratively as we go. Ah! Oh god, it's so dark. Oh! Take the pistol. Ah! Keep moving, keep moving. Ah! Keep moving. Are they keys? There are keys. Ah! I'm having to be careful because Napoleon has taken quite a lot of damage. Ah, right. This car is where we're going. Yay! So we got some pistol ammo, we got some rifle ammo, and we've got ourselves a new... Oh, we got the mullet gullet car, and it immediately runs out of gas. We should probably have looked for some gas around there, because that was a waste of time. The weather suddenly turns bad. Napoleon is caught in the open and must keep moving. He's forced to stumble around in miserable conditions. His morale is as bad as it's going to get. Without a car, he's a sitting duck for bandits. He's ambushed by awkward bandits that apologise for the robbery. They're likely new at this. They demand 6 food to pass safely. I'm going to pay the toll of 6 food, I think. I think if we'd still had Goose with his charmingness, we might have got through this alive. Napoleon decides to play it safe and gives in to the bandits' demands. Oh god, we're down to only 3 food. I thought we had a bit more than that. I find a rest stop after hours of walking along the road. Right in front of it is a car. Looks like it can be driven. Keys must be somewhere nearby. Right, we need to find food and supplies. We have, however, got a lot of pistol ammo. Oh no, wrong button. I'm assuming we don't shoot very well in the dark either. Can we still see? Oh, we can. It's really hard to see what's stuff in the dark and what's... There we go, there's some food. That looks like keys. Right, is this... Oh, gas! Excellent. That's what we needed. Oh, we're so tired. Right, we've got ourselves a little bit of fuel. Oh, we're too tired to use the scythe. Ah! Napoleon, don't die! I want that food though. This could be the end of us. Right. Alright, we got some kind of family car. We got 8 more food, 48 gas, a load of pistol ammo. That was relatively successful, except that Napoleon is pretty battered. Napoleon finds an abandoned safe house. There's a little bit of ammo inside. We can get pistol ammo and shotgun ammo. On further searching, some unfinished pipe bombs are in the building. Someone must have had to leave in a hurry. Messing with them could be really dangerous. I think... Oh, perfect. Thank you, Dragon. That's really useful. Right, I'm going to get Napoleon to finish making these pipe bombs. Napoleon is hurt. Napoleon is killed. Napoleon's mechanical is revealed. However, it doesn't really matter. With no one left to drive the car, the journey to Canada is at an end. Dang it. So our first ever run of Death Road to Canada, we made it within 9 days of Canada. We lost Drakey and Goose right at the beginning. At one point we had Napoleon and a clown. And both of those died. The clown died very quickly. After we'd survived the swarm, the clown was mauled to death as we tried to leave the room. And only Napoleon survived that. And then Napoleon did really well. He went on for quite a while. I'm glad we recruited him when we did. That game is surprisingly good. We're going to play more of that on Friday. We're going to do another run. I want to see if we can get a run where we go to Canada. But first, I want to have a look at the unlock system. Okay, cool. The debutante is holding a tiny teacup, rolling around, flailing, just has no grace to it. You should use intelligence and decorum. She crushes the teacup into a fine dust. So we can buy... Oh, that's interesting. So these are perks of the mind. So presumably if I buy mechanic, I've already got mechanic unlocked, but if I spend 1 Zombo point, does it upgrade it to rank 2? Yes. Oh, it does. Brilliant. Perfect. And presumably when it says unlocks 3, that means there's 3 of them that I've not yet seen. And there's 16 unlocks, means there's 8 skills, and I can unlock each one, do each one twice more. And at each of these people, she does perks of the mind, he does perks of the body. Yeah, okay, I see. Perfect. Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. We're going to end here, the end of Death Road to Canada, having done the little bit we've done, but I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks to Quist for the raid earlier. That was perfect. It was good to have you guys on from Quist's channel. It has been great. And we did get to Death Road to Canada, and well recommended, Dragon. This is a much more deep game than I thought it would be when I originally did the tutorial. Yeah, absolutely, it needs to be longer next time. It really does. But I had to start late, unfortunately, because I had some other stuff on this evening. So I'm going to run out of time to run, because we're moving on 11 o'clock here. So we are going to end the stream there, but thank you guys so much for joining me. I will look forward to seeing you on the next one, which will be a Friday night stream where we're going to do some more Death Road to Canada. And then we're going to play some, probably Quasimorph, before we chill with a bit of RimWorld streaming on Saturday, Sunday morning, and back to Starsector again on Monday. Hopefully doing a bit more than just fitting out a giant ship like we did tonight. So I will catch you guys on the next stream. Thank you so much for joining me. Goose out.